You can hear the singing styles. You can hear everything, and so it's danceable and it's high life.
And correct, who inspires this club high life?
It's my creation.
Inspired by nobody? No,
inspired by Konkonte. You know, Konkonte is a nice. When I used to be Kwame, when I wasn't Rex Omar, you know,
okay,
Konkonte was my best. And then I know there are a lot of people like Konkonte, but people, because they are shy of eating it, they give it different names. Face the wall. Those kind of stuff. So I wanted to give Konkonte a hip, you know.
Okay.
So now Konkonte is the in thing.
Yeah, it is. Are you a good dancer?
Okay. I have some new steps. I don't know how to dance, but this particular song I've created a dance for it. Yes, so we call it.
Okay.
We call it. The dance is called Azozo.
Azozo.
You know,
all right.
That's why you hear me say Azozo. So if you play the Konkonte, I can dance.
Okay, let's go. To check out our Instagram page right now. The dance is called what?
Azozo. Yes.
And what's the meaning of Azozo?
Azozo is 7/7 Ghana walkings. So when I was young, when we were in school, we used to do some kind of walking that we call 7/7 Ghana walking.
Okay.
And then we used to have some other people who used to come to Kumasi, and when they are doing their bobobo, then they use the word Azozo and all that. So I put all those things together. So when the song starts, you have to put your hand in your pocket. You have to put your hand in your pocket.
Okay.
That's the thing. It's go. Then go 7/7.
What do you have to do it 7 times?
No, you just have to do it.
It's just called 7/7. 7/7 Ghana walkings Azozo. Oh wow. I'm sure Uncle Ken can do this. When he comes, we'll ask him to do it. Let's see. Anyway, so about a year after I was born in 1988. A year after I was born in 1989, you released your first album.
Yes, 89. No, I released my first album when you were. In fact, you were not born.
My parents hadn't met.
No, my first album was 83.
Okay.
83, but it wasn't a hit. It was called Adomsem.
Okay.
The gospel one, yes. And then after that I released Asida, which is 85.
Okay.
That one also was a reggae in a gospel vein. So people couldn't place it. Is it a reggae? Somebody can come to a shop. And you wear a fine pound. Now wear a gospel and I say a day. That kind of stuff.
Okay.
So it did not see the day of light. But the one that became a hit is 88.
Okay.
Adomsem. The one that the one that has our repa, our kete mami size na ope ebeye ye.
Did they have Udofo
Wine?
Right.
That was the first album that became a major hit.
That's the one I know.
Yes.
Okay. And that was 1988.
88.
So that's about 31 years ago.
Yes.
Wow.
You see how I'm still getting younger.
Yes, now you're making club highlights.
Yes.
So you're definitely getting younger.
I'm getting younger, you know.
How have you been able to carry on till now?
I think I'm an easygoing person. And people think that because I'm very principled and passionate, they think I'm strict and serious. I'm the very easygoing person.
Are you?
At least Kwame knows me.
Is that so? Well, Kwame Rasta is here looking really pretty.
I don't take things at heart. When there's an issue and there's something I can do about it, I do it. Okay. If I can't do it, I just leave it. I don't harbor resentment. I don't have time to say, oh, somebody has done this to me, I'm going to do. I don't have time for that. I just flow by the day, you know. Whether I have money, whether I don't have money, I'm a very down-to-earth person.
That's contrary to popular opinion about you.
I'm a down person. I'm easygoing. I'm not materialistic. I'm okay. So I don't have burdens, you know.
What's your favorite thing about making music?
Music is something that keeps me alive. No matter how much money I make from any other business, if it's not from music, I'm not satisfied. Because I believe that God gave me music, and music is what brought me. So I'd rather be happy to make one CD from music than to make a million from something that has nothing to do with music. That is why when you joke with me with my music money, then it's like you are doing something wrong. You know, because to me, everything about me is music. What has made me Rexuma is music. You know.
That's very passionate. It kind of takes me back to a comment that was passed by a certain Elikem Kumoji a couple of weeks ago. And I know this is dead. We aren't discussing this right now. But you saying now that money that you make from music is the money. That's what God has blessed you with. That's the talent God has blessed you with.
It's what is making it makes me see my usefulness. Why would I be given a talent, and if the talent cannot put food on my table, then what else? So when I make one CD from music, I protect it with all my life than to make any money from other things that has nothing to do with music. You know, because then that is the talent God gave me. This is what I'm getting out of it.
Yes.
You know.
Absolutely, makes a lot of sense. What's your least favorite thing about making music?
Least favorite thing about making music?
Yes.
There isn't. The only thing that makes me like I can't say it's unfortunate. The other time I asked God, why would you give me all this talent and put me in a country that has no appreciation for good music, Ghana? Why would you give me all this talent and bring me in a country where we don't respect creativity? Why? Then later on I find out that maybe God wants me to help to change the course. And that is why he placed me here. So all and well is good.
Why do you say that Ghanaians have no appreciation for music?
Not necessarily music, anything that has to do with creativity.
The arts.
The arts. Kwame sitting here is one of the brilliant poets that I've ever met.
Is that so?
Listen to some of his writings. You know, so anybody in this country that was fortunate to be born with a creative or artistic talent, in Ghana you are doomed. Unless by some miracle you have to do something else, otherwise Ghana doesn't see you. From day one, from head to toe, nobody sees you. And then if you complain about it, you are too known. You are this, you are that. I remember somebody asked me to come and perform. He wants a very good performance from me. Then I said, can I send you my technical rider? Then he said, I don't need technical rider. Just take the list of things that I need so as to be able to perform, give you my best.
Is it that we don't know or we don't appreciate?
We don't want to know. And we don't see music or art as part of development. Meanwhile, if we really want to develop as a country, arts and culture is number one.
Uncle Rex, I think that a lot of my listeners listening to me right now, a lot of people will agree that we very, very deeply appreciate you, your music, and a lot of creative work in this country. I don't know if it's appreciation that the challenge is, or understanding the things that come with encouraging or the ability for an artist to be able to give off his best. So somebody asking or complaining about your rider, for example, does not know why you need a rider.
Let me explain something to you. Somebody wants to organize an event. He will go and rent the equipment, pay for it.
Yes.
He'll go and book the venue, pay for it. The lighting system and all the things that goes with it, the branding, what he'll pay for everything. The last thing he doesn't want to pay for, and it's too expensive, is the very artist who is coming to perform. You are bringing all these things because of these artists, but this is the very artist he doesn't put value on. You go to do a show, you ask, can I have a space to even change? They didn't create a space for you to even change. They didn't know that as you're sitting behind the stage, you have to drink water, you need a towel to wash your face, you need something to get yourself. It is because of you people are there. He will provide for everything but you. Let me come back. You see this radio station we're sitting? You got all your gadgets, your equipment, everything. You rent the place, you pay for electricity, you do everything. To do what? To play music, right?
Yes.
But if we'll be honest to ourselves, how many radio stations do their annual budget and calculate the usage of music as part of their cost? Some of you have to be dragged to court before you do that. This is what I'm talking about. This is the difference. You enjoy music, but you don't put premium and value to people who do it. And we, the same people, will tell us, oh, musician, we are Kofi form pema. You didn't give the person his due. And at the end of the day, you tend to blame the people. Most of us do the music for the love of it. Trust me.
Would you say this lack of appreciation has anything to do with the musicians also?
No. It is our psyche. You know, when I was growing young, I've been growing older, anytime you see a comedian, like the Sofa Dazi Dems, and they come to television and whatever, as they are cracking jokes, you see a lot of people, as soon as they were Jimmy Powell, and there's no elder person sitting down who will say, no, don't say that. He's entertaining you. Musician will be called band boys. When you go and perform for somebody, oh, na mama band boys ni be. They are the last person everybody thinks of, you know. And because of our nature, we are entertainers. So as you're an entertainer, you have to be easygoing. You see how Kwame has dressed. The same thing. Let me wear a suit and tie and let him dress this way. Let both of us go to bank and look for a loan and look who they will listen to. Meanwhile, he's an artist.
Has it got anything to do with the character of artists?
It has to do with our backwardness, our mentality to who artists are.
Would you say that times are changing and that it's
not that fast?
Okay.
Not that fast, honestly speaking. That's the reason why, I'm an entrepreneur, so sometimes I'm going to somewhere, I need to dress as an entrepreneur. Even though I'm an artist, I go there, I don't like wearing suit, but I'm forced to wear suit because if I want to do business as Ghanaians will respect you, I have to dress as like an entrepreneur. And when I finish and I'm going, this morning, I had to wear a suit for a meeting. And because I'm coming for an interview, I have to hurriedly go and change and wear this because I'm an artist. But if I want to succeed in this our environment, I have to play to suit the mindset of our people. That is the problem. Let him decide to go to parliament. The fact that he's dreadlocks, nobody will vote for him. Trust me. That is our mindset. Then this must change. It is wrong.
Don't look for we in my pocket.
I'm wondering whether you think all of this has to do with branding, maybe, because I am thinking, for instance, if somebody were to contract you and correct to play a show, I don't think they would dare disrespect you. I don't think they would dare say, oh, we're not going to pay him, or we're not going to give him a room to dress up, etc. If someone were to call maybe Sarkodie, for example, I don't think they would say, oh, we're not going to pay him, and so on. Do you think that the positioning of the artist has something to do with the appreciation and respect that is given to him? You know,
when we're talking in terms of percentages, Rex Omar is one of 1,000. Me, I don't see myself as a Ghanaian musician. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. Respect is
you
not
don't see yourself as a Ghanaian musician?
I'm a musician, but I see myself more as an entrepreneur than a musician because musicians are not respected in this country, and then I don't carry myself as a musician. You know, everybody knows I'm a musician, but we are talking about 1 out of 1,000. Majority of musicians who don't think like the way I think is who I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying?
Those who think that they are musicians and that's it.
Exactly. For example, look at somebody like Kobolo.
One Love.
One Love is a typical artist. He's decided that this is my brand. I don't wear slippers. This is the way I dress. This is how I want to market myself. But trust me, the ordinary Ghanaian on the street looks at him differently. But this same One Love, let him change his way of dressing. He's a very nice guy, respectable guy and whatever. But because he's an artist, you know, so the whole situation is we are talking in the majorities, not in the minorities. Me,
the exception to
I'm an exception to the rule because I'm a businessman. There's no business language you speak. I don't understand. You understand what I'm saying? So we are talking about the majority, the young people who are starting. If as a country we will look at them as these are the people. We will go to our judiciary. You think that these wigs that they wear, why do they wear the wigs? They wear those wigs
no idea.
to identify themselves as yes, we are judicial people. Can we disrespect them because of the way they dress? No, that is their possible.
Even though it's ridiculous.
It's very ridiculous, but they have to do it because that's what they want to do. The same applies to us. But unfortunately, in our country, it's not every young artist that can start and immediately gets a manager. A manager to manage what? Because at the end of the day, for any manager to come to you, their manager is a businessman. Is also looking for this artist. If I'm to manage him, what am I going to get? They don't manage anything. Otherwise, every artist will have a manager. So before the artist will get to a level where now somebody will have interest in him to say, let me manage him, he would have gotten somewhere first. So, and let me come back. It all starts from the fact that a country on a state called Ghana does not recognize the creative industry as part of national developmental agenda. It is a problem that must be solved, and that is the reason why some of us have gotten into frontline politics, because politicians don't get it. They don't get it. Recently, you see this thing that happened last year, end of the year. Not State of the Nation, the one they did at the beach. What is Year of Return?
Year of Return. Afro Nation.
One project.
Yeah.
Do you see what happened in this country? Are we saying we can't have 10 Afro nations in Ghana? That we also are packaging our stuff and export it in other countries? We can do same, because this was done by Nigerians. This guy, Mr. Easy. Do you think Mr. Easy is such a smart businessman because he's doing it? People understand them. People are putting money behind him, and he's doing what he's supposed to do. It is a business. You can sit here in Ghana and set up an international world tour, export Ghanaian musicians. But who is going to support you? No bank will support you, because first and foremost, their mindset of what you're doing is negative.
What do you think the cause of this is? Why are we not being taken seriously?
We are not being taken seriously because our leaders don't have business understanding what we do. They will say, oh, and the musicians are always fighting. Are you saying footballers don't fight?
Parliament.
Even parliament, they don't throw blows. The thing is, they don't have business. They don't understand running an economy that has something that is say it is creative economy. Even to name our ministry is wrong. How can we say Ministry of Tourism and Creative and Arts and Culture? I mean, how?
Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts.
There's nothing like creative arts. We have a creative economy or creative culture, a creative ministry. There's nothing like creative arts. It's tautology. They should separate as decouple as. Tourism is big business on its own. Let them deal with their tourism and the tourism sites and the hotels and teach the hot cat people how people will receive people who are coming into our country, and these are their work. Let them do it. Ticketing, whatever. And then leave the creative industry that has to do with the National Commission on Culture, the Du Bois Centers, that. You go to the whole country, all the regions have commission on cultures. All the states have commission on cultures. We don't have any ministry. You go to the Ministry of Tourism, there is no one minister sitting down there, whether it's deputy or whatever, that creative people go to. We don't have anybody sitting at cabinet talking for us. We have nothing. A country, we are happy to build.
We have a Minister of Creative Arts.
Oh, please. We don't have a Minister of Creative Arts. We have a minister.
We have a Creative Arts Council.
Creative Arts Council with no law. It's useless. It doesn't have law. It's just it's hanging. That's why over 3-4 years it hasn't done anything. But the question is, why do you need a Creative Arts Council if you have a whole National Commission on Culture established by law? You have National Theatre established by law, and they've got infrastructure that is deteriorating, and you don't do anything about it, and you are creating another organization.
But it's all arts culture.
It's art culture. I don't have any problem. I'm
asking if all arts is culture. You're saying we have a National Commission on Culture.
We have the heritage culture. That is drumming and dancing. We are talking about business of culture, the cultural economy, where the real money comes from. There are, this day and age, other countries will set their artists up and say, go to tour. Go and market the country positively and bring the foreign exchange. What is stopping Uncle Ebo White? He shows that he's done for so many years. What is stopping Uncle Ebo White to package the same thing and do a world tour with it?
What's stopping him?
Because there's no support system.
From the government, you mean?
From the whole country, from the government. Where do you go and get that kind of money? Don't we sit in this country that we hear Umoja? touring the whole world, and they come to Ghana and we go and queue and watch them. We don't sit here and hear Sarafina and they're touring the whole world. Can't we do same?
But Uncle Red, Umoja was brought into Ghana by a Ghanaian events company because it is an internationally well packaged.
A South African. Don't use the word international. South African well packaged production to be exported. Yes. I'm saying that can't we do same?
I want to ask you, Uncle Rex, that for example, Chief Mumin does Wogbejeke, which is a beautiful theatrical production on our culture and our history. And every time I see Wogbejeke, I think of Umoja.
Okay.
And I think this is a good export for Ghana.
Okay.
So perhaps if Chief Mumin can market his Wogbejeke internationally, so that a South African theater production company like Charterhouse in Ghana brought Umoja in, can take Wogbejeke to South Africa, can take Wogbejeke to Namibia, wherever.
That is exactly what I'm talking. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. For example, if we know that in a country called Ghana we have a ministry, and the ministry understands that culture is business, not just drumming and dancing, but it is business. And there are policies that say that, don't we have Exim Bank in Ghana? So we know that we can package a cultural product, go and take a loan from Exim Bank and export it and bring in money. Then we are talking. But if you go to Exim Bank, all they are talking about is either you are selling something different from music. Because they'll say, as for music and this, then they are intangibles. You know, the thing is, we have to change our mindset. The world is growing very fast. The world is being moved by cultural economy, creative economy, not this cocoa and gold and timber and whatever. Do you think that if Mark Zuckerberg was a Ghanaian, by this time can it want it on baby? Because we don't respect creativity. We sit in Ghana, and a Japanese company has released a chocolate called Ghana Cocoa, Ghana chocolate, using our national identity to sell their chocolate. We are the second largest producer of cocoa in the world. But Japanese company produce a Ghana chocolate, selling it all over the world, and we sit here and we are happy. This is what I'm talking about.
If you just tuned in, this is Joy 99.7 FM. You're listening to Showbiz A to Z live with Rex Omar. My name is Nashako. I'm your host, and he's saying some very, very thought-provoking things. You can join us via WhatsApp on 0244 340 437. 0244 340 437. Kwame Rasta is here. George Kwe is here too. And Rasta, I've been seeing you nodding in agreement to almost to pretty much everything that Uncle Rex has said.
Yeah. I mean, some of us, I think I first met him 19 years ago.
How old were you?
I don't, maybe 19 or 18. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the first thing, he was busy. He didn't even mind me. I think he was looking for some papers or something, and he issuing instructions. And then I was like, wow, this is Rex Omar, you know. And then he sat down eventually. Hey, my brother, what can I do for you? And then I was talking some nonsense, and then he said, yeah, as usual. And then he said, you see, in this world, you have to cut your coat according to your material, not your size. And I was like, wow, this guy, I mean, what's he on? And for me, listening to him today, I've had certain privileges with him personally, and listening to him right now go on this tirade, I'm like, what he's basically saying is Ghana is not cutting its coat according to its creative material. You know, we sit and we pride ourselves with having been the first south of the Sahara to gain independence, and then that's it, the conversation ends there. We only call on creatives when we want them to come and pass through and hurry up and go and sit at the back and comport themselves. You see, when he was mentioning, I think you were mentioning the Sachs and a few others who have made
it
branded themselves, and none of these persons had any tangible support from base, from the ministry. These persons made it by the sweat of their own talents, the merits of their own art, and by the scruff of its neck, they went out there and are making Mother Ghana proud. These, like Sarkodie, for instance, this year of return thing that happened, the BET, when he was in his acceptance speech, that statement that he made, it's not like he was, at that time he had not been ordained an ambassador of the whatever, the year of return. Okay, now, so what, we didn't know that Sarkodie had clout. He was befitting of any such thing until he went there to give that glowing endorsement of an event that had very little to do with his own personal interest. You know, and sometimes, I mean, I don't know if they still do, but when you watch CNN, you see nations advertising their tourist potential and arts and why you should come visit Malaysia or a whole continent, you know, that kind of thing. What Sarkodie did, and a spot of that on CNN or Deutsche Welle, or you don't want to know. I don't know who are in charge. I mean, we've sat here, we've had business people in coats and ties, organizations like Rebranding of Ghana or Accra, or there's one at Gimpa, headed by one professor. It was supposed to beautify brand Ghana, kind of, you know.
Okay.
Yes. And I'm like, but these people, if you want to brand Ghana, and so far as I can recall, the biggest statement that anybody made, it was just a statement that when former President Kofi said that we should wear local fabrics, but on Fridays, and you didn't need an office to make that statement. For instance, you see, when he said that, now look at what you are wearing, look at what I am wearing, it was sewn together by creatives from this part. What it automatically means is it provides employment, it provides income, it halts or tries to stem the tide of rural-urban migration. Just a statement. Now, if somebody should say that henceforth, every Monday and Wednesday, we are playing Ghanaian music, keep your structure of radio programs, whether you are playing jazz or whatnot, you are playing gospel or Christian music, we have play Ghanaian music.
That's what we're doing on Joy throughout the month. It's Ghana Month on Joy.
Good. Who asked you people to do it?
We decided to do so.
Thank you. So if it was a policy from top, okay, that henceforth all radio stations in Ghana every Monday, Wednesday and Friday play strictly Ghanaian music, it would boost in terms of all the specialized divisions that are employed to bear on production, from composers to songwriters, to, mind you, there's a songwriter and there's a composer. It's not the same thing. Yes. I know. So yes, to programmers, to beat maker. There's a beat maker, there's a producer. Two different things.
Yeah.
So all these persons will be busy. Instrumentalists. The only thing that sustains instrumentalists in this town is the church. When they go to church, the pastors pray for them, and then they go back home. Sometimes they get a dinkra meat pie and sobolo.
Who are the instrumentalists?
Instrumentalists are persons who play instruments.
So guitars and everything.
Bandsmen are instrumentalists.
They don't work in studios anymore?
No, but how many studios? The studio business. How often? And you see, again, it's a chain reaction. Once there's demand, okay, of Ghanaian music out there, what it means is we need to produce more. There's more competition. That means you want quality. That means you are hiring the people. You understand? If you are not hiring the people, they are at home and they are at the mercy of religious bodies and they eat prayer. You understand? And the next moment he will turn into some pastor and will be doing all manner of things. But you see now, the issue at hand again is we need to realize that we are lacking in terms of appreciation of art and culture in this town. And again, that is to a large extent what Uncle Rex Omar is preaching.
Yes.
You know, so once we do that, we'd even realize that we don't even need a ministry.
We don't need a ministry.
Oh, when the ministry was first came about, you see the way he's saying that the Art Council is not backed by law. It took forever for the ministry to be backed by law. It was just there. It was to suit a certain political demand. Now, fast track where we are at right now. If again the Commission on Culture had budget, had funds, okay, if other agencies in the creative economy and the culture economy had budget, hired specialized people. Listen, when you go to the district and municipal assemblies, they all have offices for Commission on Culture. And those persons who have been posted there, they are in the towns. I know some of them, at least 2. I know them. One of the palaces, there was a chieftaincy dispute. The guy fled for a very long time, but was collecting his salary, and rightly so, because we don't even understand. I think they forgot about him. You understand? So this is how much of a joke we are. We don't need a ministry. We need the agencies, already existing agencies backed by law, to work, to be supported from top. That's all.
Thank you, Kwame Rasta. I'm correct.
I wanted to do something short so that, you see, we don't have an agenda. An agenda is simple. Here in this room, this very room, we have people here. This gentleman sitting here,
George Quay,
we are wasting him as a country. Yes, I want to be blunt. This country, we are one of the countries that wastes human resource number 1.
How do you mean?
Okay. All the things that George Quay knows, all we need, if we had a policy, we have a direction, we have a ministry that has an agenda, we can sit here in Ghana. You see, Shatawale is big, Stoneboy is big, Sakwadia is big. We have a lot of big artists in Ghana, but they are just Ghana. Who is stopping us from us sit here in Ghana with an office which its agenda is to set up a world tour? Ghana, how does it take to book a hall anywhere in Europe or in America? So they sat down categorically. This year we are doing world tour. They'll book over 100 gigs, advertise it through some agencies together, and carry Ghanaian musicians with our Ghanaian identity, and we are going for a tour. What do you think that we are marketing the country? We are bringing the foreign exchange back. We have the people who can do that, but we don't have a policy. We don't have a financial support. We don't have, so everything revolves in Ghana, small country.
But Uncle Rex, are we not wasting ourselves then? I mean, who is wasting? Who should organize this?
Our government has been wasting both government, all successive governments.
What prevents George Quay sitting down here from organizing such a tour?
With which money?
Uncle Rex, these artists drive Bugattis and drive Range Rovers and drive very large
show business
cars.
It is show business. You have to understand.
I know, but
look. It is show.
Uncle Rex, you don't let me talk.
No, I want you to talk, but you see, our business is called show business.
Yes.
So first and foremost, the guy must look good.
Yes.
Outside gentility, home cry. Because you are marketing yourself. You have to look good in the eyes of the people. It's a package.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that in your real life, that is what it is.
Yes, but Uncle Rex, let me ask you. Yes. These tours that you speak of,
yes,
while it benefits the country, it benefits these artists also.
Okay. These
artists put up videos on social media, yes, with a lot of dollars, lying in the dollars, swimming in the dollars, and so on.
Yes.
So if the creative ministry, I can't even say creative arts ministry,
okay,
you know. So if the creative ministry can see this, right, the government can see this.
Yes.
The artists have this much money,
yes,
and yet they themselves are not doing these things that you speak of. Then why should the government take its money?
Any politician,
these artists to do this.
Any politician, any government who sees this video and based on this video makes his judgment has no business ruling us. It means he doesn't know the game. He doesn't understand what showbiz is.
Like he doesn't have.
He doesn't have, exactly, something like that.
Okay.
No, we can't say that. We can't say that.
Sense.
We can't say somebody doesn't have sense.
It's either you have it or you don't.
No, you can't say. Stop it.
It means he doesn't know his job.
But I'm just asking these questions because the fact about government supporting the industry versus private sector supporting the industry has been a big debate in the industry for some time now. And if for all these years we are not getting the government support for those who believe that it should be government funded, what's preventing the creative sector from seeking this private private sector support to do these things that we cry for all the time?
One thing I want to make clear: no government is doing the creative industry any favor. They are not doing us a favor. It is part of the economy that employs hundreds of thousands of youth. Any government that is serious in creating jobs for the youth will look into the creatives. It's not only music. We are talking about fashion. We are talking about film. We are talking about paintings, sculpture, so many things, software development, hairdressing. So it is a huge industry that creates jobs for majority of our youth. So if you're a government and you don't understand this, and you think that because you've seen some artists who have gone to rent some car or throwing some fake dollars in the video, and because of that they are rich, then you don't have business ruling us. Park somewhere and let serious people come and rule us.
Wow. Uncle
I Bob Ruta.
Uncle, let's talk about Gamro.
Yes.
So we don't have so much time, but I've always wanted to ask you why the interest to be chairman to start with.
First and foremost, everybody who has followed my career know that I've been very passionate about copyright.
Yes.
My work in Gamro is just a service. In fact, it's eating into my personal time that I can use to make money for myself. Yep. But I'm serving my country. I know that there's so many things that people do not understand when it comes to collective management organization in this country. I hear people come and sit on radio and say all manner of things and Rex Omar this and Rex Omar that because they don't understand. I am not part of the day-to-day running of Gamro. I am the board chairman. I help the board to formulate policies. We give it to the management to implement those policies. We are living in a country where laws have been enacted to run this collective management organization. We are living in a country where radio stations and music users who are supposed to know that music is not for free, so as they are using music they have to pay for it. No, they will not do it. They would want to drag them to court with your scanty resources before they will even pretend to pay. We are living in a country where multinationals, telcos, using music, paying in other countries, but in our territory they don't want to pay. You have to drag them to court. My whole thing with Gamro is to help to structure. In fact, today, if I have opportunity, if I knew that there was somebody who can do this better, I will stay away because I'm too busy. But the thing is, I am a Ghanaian to start with. My copyright is in Switzerland. The rest is, I leave my destiny in Ghana for West Africa. The rest of my copyright is in Switzerland. So if it's about my personal gain, I don't need Gamro. But how about the majority of young Ghanaian artists and those who don't know and those yet to be born? Why should we leave them? So that is why I'm working with Gamro, and anybody who cares to know, very soon we are going to give what I came to meet at Gamro, where we have taken Gamro to. Okay. It gets to a point, then perhaps I'll bow out to go and do what I have to do.
Oh, okay. Something struck me in what you said, that if there was someone better to run,
yes,
or someone better to be the chairman,
the chairman who understands
the board, yes, you would.
I'll stay away from him for the person. But for now, I don't know.
May I interpret that to mean that in the industry you don't see anyone better than yourself to run it?
Not so to say. That's why from day one I told you that I am not part of the day-to-day running. Okay. You need somebody who has my temperament, who is no nonsense, who is principled, who is not afraid of power, who is not afraid to go to the ministry and tell them what they need to hear to get things done. Somebody who is not afraid to go to the parliament and tell them what they're supposed to hear. Unfortunately, majority of our people are pharaohs.
Copyright issues with parliament?
Without laws, you can't have copyright issues. Right now, as we sit, there's something that I call blank levy. Some time ago, a law was enacted that they were taking levy on the blank cassette and CD. For those days when the law was passed, there were no smartphones and blah blah blah. Now the money has reduced 85%.
Why?
Because there's nobody bringing CD that you can take a levy on. There's nobody bringing cassette that you can take a living on. So the law must change to cover smartphones and external hard drives and blah, 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 and all these things. It is not in purview of Gamro to do that. It is the work of the Copyright Office, which is a government agency. It has taken so many years for this thing to be done. Now, it has to go to Parliament. It has to be passed before it can become a law. You understand what I'm saying? Yet, the Gamro guys sitting out there thinking that, oh, meanwhile, I am pushing and pushing and pushing, but I am not government. Gamro is a private.
Only do so much.
I can only do so much. So I want to cross that hurdle. I want to cross a level where now there's something that I call title-specific distribution. So when you play Rexoma's music, 3 music, it will register that you play Rexoma this particular song 3 music, and that is why he's getting that much. We didn't have all that.
It's called what? Title-specific distribution.
So radio stations don't want to pay based on login. You know why?
Why?
Because they don't understand. Radio stations feel that if they log and give us program returns, we are going to charge them based on the music usage. That is not what we do. We call something blanket license. So we categorize radio stations according to your listenership. You cannot come and charge Joy FM the same amount of money you charge some radio station in Chopocho Kwanta. But then we take based on your listenership, and then we put all of them together, and then we share the money pro rata according to whose music was used so many times at what time. But then if you don't give us the program returns, even if you give us the money, it makes the distribution difficult because it will not be equitable. You don't know whose music was used at what time, and it is the law that radio station, any music user, before you use the music, take a license. And ask me, how many radio stations do this? We have 504 radio stations in Ghana. Are we able to drag all of them to court?
But do you frequently meet with the radio station owners to maybe offer some education on this? Because
have you heard of GEBA before?
Yes.
Yes. We didn't want to antagonize private radio stations, so we started dealing with your association. So tell your people But at the end of the day, we realized that they became even a shield for their people. That's why we terminated their contract. Ghana is not an easy country to deal with, unfortunately, when it comes to copyright issues. But we will do our best.
But Uncle Rex, of the 504 radio stations, how many are in default of this?
I can say more than 80%.
Wow. Okay. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up our conversation. Yeah. But before we go, I wanted to just share with us 3 things or 3 achievements of yours since you assumed the position of the chairman of GAMRO.
First, we have been able to separate the board completely from management. Second, GAMRO has been able to do one of the best welfare policies for its members with Metropolitan Insurance. When I came to GAMRO, in fact, those who know that our office was nothing to write home about. Now we've built
ultramodern.
We built one office that I wouldn't call ultramodern, and we've teamed up.
Nowadays, the meaning of ultramodern has become.
And we've also teamed up with our sister collective management organizations like ASOG and Copy Ghana, and we've built 4-story building office block, and then we are just about to start something that we call title specific distribution with the help of other multinationals. For the first time, GAMRO has been accepted in CSAC. CSAC is the total umbrella like UN for all collective management organizations, and in fact, because we are doing so well, CSAC is going to have its international conference here in Ghana this year because of GAMRO. So we are working very hard. We are not joking. We've bought cars, we've bought motorbikes. When I came, our staff strength was 9 or so. Now our staff strength is 30 something. We are building office in Kumasi. So we are working. We are really working.
Uncle Rex, you are working, and it doesn't sound like when the politician says we are working.
I'm not politician.
I know. Oh, you say you are not a politician? I'm
not a politician.
Oh,
I am a cultural advocate.
I see. Uncle Ken has just joined us. Uncle Ken,
Yes.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
You know I really like it when you wear this pink shirt. Have I ever told you?
And I have always told you it's not pink.
Okay. Tell me one last time. What color is it? What color is it? Fuchsia.
Yes. Yes.
I see.
That's what it is.
I know the primary colors. That's all I know. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you. Sorry for being late.
You're welcome. I know you were listening to us.
Yes, I climbed the mountains and I just descended.
Okay.
You know.
Welcome home.
Welcome. Yeah. Welcome home.
Thank you.
What are your
thoughts? I was listening to
that have been shared so
Rex.
far?
Yes.
Okay.
I was listening to Rex.
Have you heard about Club High Life?
Club.
I've come out with something new called Club High Life. I know you love it.
Yeah. Oh, I would. I mean, I've known him, ever since I got back home from the UK.
Okay.
He was one of the few musicians I met and liked his music, and we had, conversations and that kind of thing. Rex has said so much. I was listening to Rex on my way here, and because we don't have too much time, I want to deal with the Gamro aspect of his conversation.
Okay.
He made a point. I listened to him once, and I have always said this, that why is it that the CSO, the CMOs, never got together to say to their members or to try and amend the law on the blank levies, which made it mandatory for them to share most of the monies amongst the musicians. Because I said to myself, through the monies that they were getting before his time, they could have procured their own equipment to monitor the radio stations without asking any government to do so for them. But what did they do? Immediately the money came, they shared it and chopped amongst themselves.
Didn't they all have to agree before
That's the point.
Yeah, so that would be a problem.
No, it shouldn't have been a problem to start off with if they were thinking ahead like he is. Because I've heard him say once on a radio station that he would have loved to have done that.
Members won't let you.
But why wouldn't they?
That's the issue.
In fact, Uncle Ken, so to cut everything short, we've gone beyond that. You see, right now, it used to be like people thought it was some machine sitting somewhere who will be doing the logging. No.
Right.
Now there are technologies.
Right.
So now what we're doing that we are sourcing a third party organization that is being doing for other countries to do for us. That is the best way to go, because in that scenario nobody is manipulating anything. The same company that is doing for PRS and other people will do for us. The sad aspect of it is we have to use our scanty resources to pay them, but then we don't have a choice. And the sad aspect of people think that the fact that you've logged radio station is going to increase your revenue. It's not true, because radio stations are not paying you based on the log. You are using the login to give equitable distribution.
Right.
So if Joy is paying me 10 cedis, whether I log or I don't log, it's the same 10 cedis. But then what the log, that's the right thing to do. That's the right thing to do. It will get to a certain time, because elsewhere we will charge them 10% of their gross.
Right.
Which Ghanaian radio station or media house are you going to tell it? Will you open his papers for you to? So the thing is, we negotiate on a blank flat rate. So when they pay the money, then we will impute all of it into the system, and the system will distribute the money. One of the problems we're also having is, in this country, people assume that because Abiba is out and Rexomar picture is behind Abiba, Abiba belongs to Rexomar. No. It's not true. Abiba may belong to 10 different musicians, right owners, and some of these artists will go, and Gamro is not giving him royalty. Meanwhile, he's not a member. We don't have any data on him, and he goes around talking. So we have a lot of work to do. Yeah. We have a lot of work to do.
Does it also cover music used at funerals and birthday parties and so
everything? That psychologically, whose music will be played in the club? A song that has been a hit. The same song that it was hit on radio will end up in the club, will end up in the funeral, will end up in the parties. So those who created this system, they did a lot of research, So long as the music becomes a hit, it triples down, People who are suffering these days in the hands of Gamro, and I pity them, is the Shatawales and the Stone Boys and the Kwame Eugene, those whose music, because their music is the hit now that they're supposed to make all the money, and they are not making, because you get the money and you share to some 3,000 people whose music are not doing anything, and they are the very people who come and sit on radio and complain that Amar Rasta went to Bo Edria or Gamro. Meanwhile, if it wasn't for that, they maintain your mother. You see some of these things, and there are thousands of people like that. Maybe coming.
But you see,
sorry, George, but you paid her, didn't you?
Because the system is such that so long as you see, it starts from where we're coming from.
Yeah.
A lot of people became members of Gamro by default because they were joining Gamro like they are joining Musica. It's not every musician that can become a member of Gamro.
Is that so?
That is the truth. Because you can only become a Gamro member when you have a work, and you will have to legally assign that work to Gamro. And even it's not all your rights you are assigning to Gamro. For example, somebody used my song for an advert. The person doesn't have the right. Gamro doesn't have the right to give somebody a go ahead to use my song for an advert without contacting me. That is why when Joy Daddy Beaters used my song, I took them to court. Gamro doesn't have the right to give my song to people blanket. No.
But who is at the time that your song was given to Joy Daddy?
Yes.
Who at Gamro did that?
Nobody was in Gamro did that. If somebody had done that in Gamro, I'll draft out.
Because you just said that Gamro didn't have the right to do it.
They didn't have the right to do it, so they didn't do it. I took them to court myself, and I informed Gamro that these people have used my song. I'm taking them to court. So when the time comes, come and be my witness. But if they had given my song to them to use, me, chairman of Gamro, I would have driven my own organization to court. They don't have that right.
I see. So the many music, the many songs that we hear in medicine commercials, what do you call those vans that sell medicine? Those vans.
Yeah.
You know.
There's something that we call activations.
Yeah.
We charge them.
Market storms.
We charge them.
And all those.
We charge them. We go. We negotiate with them. Our people. We have a task force. They go and negotiate with them. Initially, they were paying some peanuts, but now we've changed it completely. Ever since.
So must they inform you before they do so, or if you happen to chance?
They need a license before they even do so. So if we catch you and you are doing it without a license, you first and foremost pay penalty, and then we renegotiate everything and you pay. We've done a couple of that.
I see.
We are really working.
Just
what of churches?
Yes.
Churches have started paying.
I think after this pay matter, we've gone over it too many times, and we know the story. For me, I think our biggest problem in this entertainment space is one,
we don't know.
We complain too much, and two, we are almost always interested in spending all our money.
Thank you.
A lot of us don't know how to plow back into the industry. Look, we've sat down and criticized award schemes, 3 Music Awards, Foresight Music Video Awards, VGMAs. VGMAs are unveiling nominees today, and when you go on social media and look at the chatter, you wonder, what kind of people are we? I'm listening to Uncle Rex and I'm wondering, okay, when you go to the United States, the Grammys is organized by who? The Recording Society. Yeah. Go to South Africa, RISA, the recording industry, is the industry that organizes the summers. Your biggest award schemes in this country are organized by private institutions. Why is it not being organized by Gamro? Because if Rex today comes to announce that we are using the money that has come to organize an award scheme, they'll burn his house. They'll beat him up.
Is there enough money?
You hold on hold on small. I beg you.
Okay.
Correct.
As soon as I came to Gamro, I realized that one of our major problems was because of the instability of our source of income. Our people, the banking sector, don't understand us and all that. So I said, look, I'm going to set up a credit union, not only for Gamro, not only for music, but for the whole creative industry, so that we will have our own credit union, so that at least they will understand our business. So if we need something small, we can go to them and all that. I knew my people very well, so I decided I will not take anybody's persuade. I will spend my money, go through the process to do everything. When we are ready and we launch it, then people can come in.
Yeah, I remember this.
After we got all the initial people, we rented an office, paid over 100,000 Ghana cedis, we set up the place and everything. The next time I heard, Gamro people started going from radio station that Rex Omar has stolen Gamro money to set up a bank. And because of that, I cancelled it. All the money.
You cancelled it?
Yeah, money gone down the drain.
You see,
I've bought my name.
And you see now, when you go back, if you speak to people that have followed our industry for a while, there were things that would have worked by now if we ourselves didn't use our hands to tear them down. From Cosga to some of the big record labels, the Big Bens, the Megastars, and all of them. Just do something small, and somebody will sit in some corner and hurl so many invectives at you, you would wonder why you were even born. That is the kind of people we are.
George,
yes.
Is Xylophone as part of it?
Let me learn. I don't know what you're saying. What's Xylophone at?
Xylophone, the record label.
I don't know.
Xylophone Media.
I don't know. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is that our industry will continue to suffer until our mentality, our thinking changes. Until we stop thinking that the one at the top or the one leading us is chopping our money. Until we stop realizing that somebody's success has nothing to do with your poverty. Or somebody's success has nothing to do with your suffering.
You're in the spirit.
No, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Sometimes you hear people speak and hey, Nasoko, who was just an usher at National Theatre, so she should remain an usher at National Theatre forever. Yeah. What sort of thinking is this? What kind of people are we?
Yeah.
Hey, Kwame Rasta, Igeka, but what jobs have they do? Yeah. Oh, that boy, yes, he did. What kind of people are we? We've torn everything that could have made us better people by now. The Nigerians always laugh at us because they copied so many things from us. There was a time when Ghanaian, look, Abraham Wahinejan, he revolutionized music film industry in Nigeria. Ask him, video.
He did the first top class video in Ghana, Abiba.
Abraham Wahinejan, 5X Digital. That was the name at the time. He should be a legend. Africa should have a statue in his honor by now. But even Ghana will not even mind you. Even Ghana would not mind you, let alone consider the rest of the continent. And we wonder why the people next door, who we call the Nigerians, take something and run away with it. We call Azunto, we started it, they picked it up, they made it more relevant. You understand? People that have money in that industry, they invest back into the industry. Look, every industry would have its challenges. Now, if we go online right now, about 4 years ago, I was reading an article that sort of projected problems the American film industry would face in 5-10 years time and how it could affect its collapse. Yeah, I'll look for it and I'll probably share it. You know, every industry has problems, but the first step to solving those problems is changing the mentality. If people start thinking right and stop that, the most painful part for me is that you think my wealth is the result of your poverty. You're mad.
Your wealth?
Yeah.
Your wealth.
Yeah, my success is or your failure. My success
has anything to do.
It has nothing to do. You chose to fail.
A month ago.
Just a moment. It's exactly 4 minutes to the top of the hour. Right after this conversation, we're going to be speaking to the man we call Adjorlolo. Kofi Adjorlolo is in the house, looking very dapper. He's going to join us in a moment. But KK Fosu, musician KK Fosu, has been listening to us, and he would like to comment also. So let's listen to him and come back to the studios. Hello.
Hi, Na.
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine, sister, and you?
I am fine too. It's great to hear from you. You're live.
Yeah. I'm around kicking. Hey, I wanted to comment on the issue that you guys are talking about.
Yes, we're happy that you have joined us.
Yeah, I'm so happy how you were pushing things or you are pulling on correct. I would say KK Fosu is one of the artists, the young artists. My member tree crowd because they're musicians now. Man.
Me patch you.
So don't a musician. I'm a tree for months table. On correct before Baba Dani, a friend say Gamo chairman. Na a friend say Uncle Kojonchi, and I think so our honor. And the way I want to OT at the next year, game officer, so you come on. I'm expecting Uncle Rex to be higher than what he's sitting there saying it. And what hurts me most, you say his royalties most now near Switzerland a follow up man. It hurts me. That doesn't mean I don't believe in Ghana. I get in it. And Ghana, bro, George, I'm telling you, Ghana, when you do transparency, oh yeah, be a bit do it, you'll be a bit support, you'll be a bit bump a papa mouth. But one yesterday, and above us, and Uncle Fobe so work out now with this kind of say, no, let us see what is happening. Uncle Rex came to say about the fight here, man, he should fight for us. And Nana me who did that, and I was thinking saying Kabana Gamma or change. When Uncle Kojonchi was in power, every 6 months me send me royalties. So even say 200 Ghana and poor no send me. Uncle Rest by me that's how many months? 6 months no me this. Listen, Uncle Ken Bahon, you see how he was talking, questioning him. Uncle Rest know him. Abuchi akola kiti question. But Ghana akola kiti question because of your penny in Timinka. We don't know about the copyright thing. So about fixing he should fix it. Ghana 500 radio stations no can and now who say Charles Bizana and monetize it. Do the law, force it, it will work.
All right, thank you so much. That was KK Fosu.
Okay, so I want to KK Fosu to understand the say. Ever since I'm a Gamro chairman, there has never been a time I end your distribution. I insist say every 6 months a Ghana Mrasa distribution no. Uncle checking the records. Every 6 months we do distribution. If said there has been a time and in some kind of distribution, Gamro is his office. Umbra number check it. I am not the CEO. I'm the board chairman. I'm not part of the day-to-day running. An organization I hear running over 4,000. No, a friend say it can be perfect. Sometimes something will go wrong. So if our problem are Umbra Gamro, I'm doing the best that I can, and I believe say a friend say perhaps if you're better now, better than me. But so far as I'm concerned, I've done the best that I can. Look, before I don't do only music. For the past 3 months, my business partners have been asking me, Rex, why are you destroying your name with Gamro? We don't know anything that you are getting there. You are just helping, but everybody is talking and talking and talking. Why don't you leave it for them? But I know very well. Say what I know and what I can offer. We will go backwards. Not because mina minim, but I know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, I thank God that people like friends are there. And they can do better things. I mean, very soon, I come 1 year, friends say maybe we will let those who can do it better come and country.
He doesn't want that. Trust me. KK doesn't want to be in that spot.
Uncle Rex, you have shared, you have explained, and you have inspired and given us a lot of insight into things that we otherwise would probably not have known. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I wish we could talk for 4 hours. Maybe another time we'll be able to have you alone on the show. But don't go. You're staying with us throughout the show. But we have to talk to Papa Lolo.
But now, there's somebody who can do his job.
Oh.
There's, what's his name? The former, the IMC, Smart. The guys took to.
Took to where?
Nana Frimpon's husband, what's his name?
Carlos Sechi.
Carlos Sechi.
I'm happy for him.
You know, but you see, the only small hitches, Carlos, Yoko is looking for him.
Okay, so until then, we are talking to Papa Lolo.
Okay.
Papa Lolo.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
You're welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Champuna puna.
Punana sha sha. That word.
Oh my God.
So today I just can't make it out. That's it.
Kofi Adjorlolo.
Champuna.
Champumpu. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you, my dear.
So for those of you, okay, we'll tell you later. Later we shall tell you. I've wanted to talk to you for about a month now.
Oh, really?
I am glad you are finally here with us. So on the question on everybody's mind, well, since we announced that you were coming, is whether is the relationship between you and Elikem currently, if I may. What's the current state of affairs?
For starters, Elikem was someone that I don't
interact with.
I mean, I remember the last time we were on set. That was about 4 years or so. So
okay,
it's somebody that I don't interact with, and.
But you were close to his father.
Oh, that was years back.
Okay.
Just as much as I was very close to Uncle Ken here.
Okay.
We were in school, and so Elikem is not somebody that I'm so close to.
Okay. What film was that you were on together 4 years ago?
The Prince of Tamale.
Oh yes, I think I saw that one. What do you think of his acting talent?
Please, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay. All right, that's fine. And I think I heard Ola talk about you recently.
Mm-hmm.
he had some comments to pass about 5PAG, and I think something about solving the problem that 5PAG, the comments 5PAG passed, and the position that you had, and so on. Have they done the needful? Is everything okay now?
Please, I was 5PAG for all the things, all the brouhahas. I didn't receive any letter from 5PAG indicating that I've done something. There's nothing. Okay. So there's been me. I just put something across through the media, and it was a fact, or it's a fact. So whatever 5PAG might have thought of that issue, and without even making it official, as far as my reaction was concerned, I don't think I have anything to even do with 5PAG. I'm not a member of the Association of the Producers. I'm not a producer. So if anything at all, I don't have any problem with them. I was just saying producers, individual producers do owe artists, which is a well-known fact. All the artists, if they like, they should do a random, how do you call it, sampling of people's, the artists, and they'll find out that there are more to even what I came up with. So.
All right. I'd like us to listen to something that Ola put across, and then we'll come back to the studios.
Now, I found a plan B. He called a person late night, and the person too said, "Oh, but why didn't you tell me earlier? I also have something doing." I had to beg that person double the money left to be paid, Kofi, for that person to come and fill in. And yet he finishes everything and says, "I still owe him." And the public is saying, "Pay him, you owe him, pay him." But he was in the movie, right? He was. Because of that, he refused to attend the premiere. He refused to help with the publicity. Now that I've paid him, how do I make back those losses that he made for me?
Oh, so you've paid him?
Of course. So how do I make back those losses?
Did you pay him before the interview or after?
No. Just recently, because it was getting annoying. That look, you had...
How much was left?
It was just 1,000 Ghana cedis. You understand?
Man spoke under the influence of alcohol. If you don't know, I'm telling you, that's the truth.
No. What did I say wrong?
Please.
What did I say wrong?
No, listen. It's a big statement you've made.
Yes, and I stand by it.
How do you know the man was...
I stand by it. I'm not changing, I'm not rejoining.
Okay, so how do you determine who speaks under the influence of alcohol?
I become. You can't just somebody speak, you are dragging and talking to me, can't I see it?
So were you there?
Can't I see it?
All right. So that was Ola Michaels. Was it earlier this week that this came across? So Uncle Kofi, I just want to ask you finally, if he did pay you, and then we'll find out what you're up to nowadays.
Well, I was in Tamale last week, and I had a call from one lady who, claimed she is a friend to Ola, and that she volunteered to pay the money for Ola on behalf of Ola.
Okay. The
rest of the money on behalf of. So I said, well, fine, you can put it in my Momo account. And then about 10 minutes after, I saw that money had entered my account, and so that's it. So I didn't actually receive any. I didn't receive the money from Ola per se, but it was a friend of his who actually sent the money. So and I took it.
Okay. Was that
interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
Uncle Ken.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying something.
No. From what he said, I just said interesting.
Okay.
Because I think it would have been fair on the part of Ola to have actually said, if it is true, that somebody else paid on his behalf. In the audio you just played, it would have been very fair to have said somebody who was so worried about what had happened or what was going on, offered and paid.
The person, but
from what he said, he's saying that he paid.
Yeah, the girl called Shantana. She claims she's a singer, a very good friend of his.
Fantana?
No, not Fantana. Okay. Shantana. That was what I asked the guy. Are you Fantana? She said, no, my name is Shantana. Okay. So, okay. And I said, well, if you want to pay for him, fine. This is my number. Pay into the Momo account. That's it. And that was it. It was a very short on a conversation on the phone. So about 10 minutes afterwards.
Now all I'm saying is every payment is payment. He's gotten the money.
Yes, I've gotten the money
on behalf of Ola.
Yes.
But I'm just saying that Ola would have come out more credible, and if he had said that because of the stance that I took earlier, somebody who was worried about what was happening paid on
that would
my
have been
behalf.
consistent with his posture.
Exactly, that would have been persistent with the posture he was taking.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, that's all in the past. I just wanted us to clarify that before we go on to other matters. Because, Rasta, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to. I don't know how to put this, but Uncle Kofi Adjorlolo, I am immeasurably honored to be sitting across from you, and it's rather unfortunate that my first time ever being in this sport situation with you, we are having to touch on something which is a non-issue to begin with.
Yes.
You know, but I think that one of the reasons we are that interested is because in our sight, you are what you are, huge and one of the forebearers and one of the few to do it right. For instance, the gentleman who interviewed you, Ibrahim Ben Brako. Ibrahim.
Ibrahim.
Yeah. I have heard him say that you reeked of alcohol.
No. Please get your facts right. Okay. Get your facts right. But in the first place, me, I have worked in the media for several years. There's nowhere I'll go. I have hosted functions, launches, trade fairs, and things like that. Companies, corporate events. MC, how do you expect that at this my age I'll be reeking alcohol?
That's what he said. So
no, he didn't say it.
No, you didn't say
it. It was Ola who said it. Every time when I was being interviewed, Ola was not there. So how could he know that? So yesterday I was on Joy Prime on a program and then Abby was there. Okay. So we discussed this thing, and Abby said they asked him. Somebody asked them. They said no, Kofi was not drinking alcohol.
No, Kofi,
please.
Kwame. I listened to Hits FM. I think it was on Thursday or Friday when this matter came out.
What the hell?
And what actually happened?
They're lies.
Ola put the matter across that Kofi was drunk when this.
Hold on. Why would he?
Okay, Uncle Kenny.
Yeah, let me finish.
Let him
Kofi was drunk when he came up with this issue, and Andy said to him, "No, you can't say that." He said, "You ask IB." So IB was called into the studio, and when IB came into the studio. Andy's question to IB was Kofi reeking of alcohol? And IB said, no, he was not reeking of alcohol. And then the follow-up was, did you smell any alcohol? And IB said, yes, I smelled alcohol.
Oh, that's nonsense.
So that is where Kwame is getting his thing.
Me, I had gotten out of my house, because well dressed up, to come and launch somebody's you say reeking of alcohol,
but reeking.
You see this? Excuse me, Ken. You see, we are in the film industry, but I'm telling you, if we should be handling ourselves or doing this job in this industry, calling ourselves the big shots in the industry, and with living in lies and deceits, I'm telling you.
But Kofi, my point is, what program was it that you?
It was the launch of a certain film,
right?
That we were going to shoot,
right?
So when I got there,
and it was after the launch,
and
all the festivities.
He didn't even come to that launch.
Yes, correct. After the festivities. So now my point is,
no, that Ola man.
Oh, okay.
Now
he was not there.
Even if after the festivities.
So it wasn't him that you were referring to, that one of them is around.
I was not even referring. I didn't even mention his name. Then he came up.
Even getting my point.
Okay.
So it was like he who the cap fit.
Yes.
And true, he came up and said, well, he worked for me. I didn't pay him because of the provision. All lies. You see, me, I don't like people who talk, who come out with lies.
Yeah.
I don't, because me, I don't lie. I will never lie because of something. Why should I?
It was true you had not been paid.
It's true I've not been paid.
Yeah.
And there are a whole lot of artists who till now
have the same problem.
The problem. So, an artist, I don't want to mention, if they want me to mention them.
No, they can say so.
But you see, somebody like Prince David Osei sent me a message on my thing that, oh, Mr. Adjorlolo, a producer owed me about 2 years ago When I call him, I don't get him. His phone is off. Blah 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 blah. Just as this matter was happening, the guy called him and said, "You should come for your money." No, he said, "I'm sending your money through Momo."
Actually, I have heard quite a lot of other actors say so. That after
it's working, so they should sit there and be lying to themselves. They can lie to the public, but I'm telling you, the truth will always come out. One day. What are they telling us? There are a lot of producers out there that we've worked for over the years, and sometimes if they have to pay you, chase them and chase them and chase them. You chase them, meantime they pay you in bits. They pay you in bits before you realize the money that you're there is all gone.
So how can we solve this problem, man?
No, solving this problem, like we were talking about music and the Gamro and all those things. We also have the same problem. The structures. I mean, look, most producers today for whom that we are working, they are not members of FIPACO.
Oh, of course.
I'm telling you, for the past 3 years that I've worked, the producers, the young producers who have been coming, for the past 3 years, recent 3 years, for the past 3 years, 90% of the producers I've worked for are not members of FIPAC. FIPAC or FIPAC.
Or FIPAC or whatever.
Whatever.
So how do they get their movies sanctioned then?
Sanctioned by who?
But you ought to, it's an association.
Please.
Freedom of association.
Freedom of association. You don't have to join.
It's just a mere welfare body.
Yeah. What's the welfare about it?
Did you think?
No, we are talking about producers. For the producers. Well, whatever it is for them, I don't know. But I'm saying that 90% of the jobs I've done for the past 3 years, the producers, 90% of them are not FIPAC members. Now, with all these things happening, when this thing happened, as at now, I have had about 3 jobs. I've had 3 jobs. In fact, the 4th one I'm leaving. I'm going where to go and do on set, not right now, but by tomorrow. I think I'll be on set by tomorrow. And all these people are not members, except for the one that I'm going right now. I think he probably is a FIPAC member. But the other 3 that I work for, they are not. And I'm saying for the past 3 years, all the young producers I've been working with, they are not.
Of course. Plenty of them.
So there's no way to go and try to complain or try to have your problem.
No, well, that was what one of the president of the FIPAC was saying. I should have come to FIPAC to complain. I said, what are you telling me? Why?
Their threats do not have any bearing. Cannot have any bearing on your.
No. Oh, how?
Okay.
I'm not a member of the association.
Of course.
So the threat of banning me, when they came out banning me, I had about 3 jobs to do. And the producers, because of what was happening, they paid me straight. They don't want trouble, so they paid me straight away. So it's working to my advantage. So they can lie and lie. They are lying. Look, Ola is saying that I didn't complete. You see, before they come to you, to do a
they
job,
must know you are good.
They know that I'm good. Fine. Now you come. You say, look, I'm going to work with you next month, first week. Second day of the month. Fine. We're going to spend 5 days.
Was this written or verbal?
No, it's verbal. Most of it. These same people, to when you tell them that please go and see my manager, they'll get away. They say, oh, that man, manager for what? Get contract. No. They don't want to sign contract. A lot of them. You see, and these are the people, Olana, they call themselves the forerunners, the avant-gardes, the gurus, and the mafias. That's why they call themselves. But you see, today now things have changed.
Yeah.
We are no more going that this in the opera square style of marketing and distribution anymore. Yeah. Because me, I can do a film right now, which of course I've done. I've done a film. I produced a film for an executive producer. That was about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe. I did it. The executive producer took it to London, premiered in London, put it on YouTube, took it to some awards, and I took the best actor Nellas Awards 2 years ago. Nellas Awards in London.
Grilled.
You understand?
You produced it.
Yes, I produced. But you have an executive producer and you have a producer who coordinates and does everything, and that's what I did. I did it. So you see, these people. I can do a film right now, and I don't need to go and do that. Even excuse me, with all respect, Ken. Sometimes you see that and say censorship. Me, if I do a film right now, I don't need to go to censorship board.
Oh, but you were always calling me and talking.
We were talking. No, you see, we need censorship. I'm saying that right now, the digital nature of the system, that the distribution. That now, why should I do a film? I won't come to you. I'll go and put it on YouTube, DSTV, or whatever. And they would rather censor it if it's good for their consumption. You understand? They will censor. No, you see. So it makes a whole lot of things. The system has now made the system.
The dynamics of
it. The dynamics has actually changed everything.
Yeah. Correct.
As it has made a whole lot of things so redundant.
Right. Yeah.
You understand? So as at now, there are young boys. Their brothers and uncles are in abroad. They buy them cameras. They can write stories, and they get. Then they said they would say they are forming a group, a production group. They'll form the group. They'll form the group, and then when they do their rehearsals, and then they call Mr. Adjorlolo, Ashoko, please can you help me? Then they pay you good. Then they have their boys. Yeah. And the girls, and they work for. They will do the film. And they won't come. Five pack. What can you do to such a person?
Nothing. Isn't it about right time for you to introduce and insist on contracts?
No, as for the contracts, that's
now
what
that you have.
No, now I'm saying that we as Nashoko, we also have platforms.
Yeah.
We have platforms. We sit down. We actually talk and we discuss. I'm saying these same producers, if you ask them contract, they run out, they sit down. You know, it's like a mafia thing. But I thank God that things have changed over the years, and most of them go to Opera Square and see. Most of them are now selling electronics, mobile phones and things. Yes, that's the way. That's nature. That's nature.
Wow.
You understand?
But Kofi also agree that, like Na normally says, there are some producers who also do the right thing.
Oh yes.
Offer contracts.
Oh yes! Look, I can mention a whole lot of them. Wait, you see, Sebi, I mean, I've schooled, I've worked as a government worker, employee. I have worked, so I know how things are done.
The proper way.
But if the people are not allowing me to do the thing, or for them to do the prayer, what can I do?
If you can't beat them, join them.
So I can't even join them because why should I even join them? So I'll be there if you need me. I'll wait for you. So that's what we have been doing all these years.
It looks like today is the day of pink because Marco Kweku Mantey also walked in wearing pink. Uncle Kofi, is that fuchsia too?
Yes.
Your shirt.
What's that?
The color of your blazer. Is it pink or fuchsia?
No, it's not pink.
What, Charlie? Me, I only see pink. Anyway, Uncle Ken was asking me 2 weeks ago whether I had worked with you, and I told him I had the pleasure of working with you for the very first time in somewhere in the Volta region, producing or working on the film which I think will be the most beautiful film to be released this year, with a lot of color.
Yeah.
Aloe vera.
Yeah, aloe vera.
It was the first time I met Uncle Kofi, and you know, I was standing. It was the first time I'd worked with him.
Oh, okay.
And I was standing on one side of a fence, and he was on the other side, and he was supposed to shout something, just one thing, and his people were to respond. And oh my days, he was supposed to shout, "Shampuna puna."
As you say, shampuna puna. Oh my God, what is this shampuna? Shampuna, shampuna.
Oh, we did so many takes.
Oh, so many takes.
It was take 1, take 2, take 10, take 15. It's shampuna puna.
Now I went shampuna na, shampuna
na,
shampuna na. Oh God, interesting.
Oh, that was very interesting.
Because of that, I just want to watch the film. I don't normally go to premieres.
Oh, but you are coming for the premiere of Aloe Vera.
Why don't you?
First and foremost, it's a whole lot of issues.
Is it true?
Ola just mentioned. I heard Ola's voice as we played the voice.
Yeah.
He said, as an artist, I don't go to premieres. We don't help in promoting. We don't. Please. If he brings a contract or a producer brings a contract and you specify all these things that I will be doing, then I can charge you. You understand? Yeah. If this Saturday I'm going for a premiere for a film that I did because I'm a busy actor. Next week I'm on for another premiere. Next 3 weeks. Now premieres, when the public comes, they take pictures.
Yes.
They want to see you look good. I'll be going to premiere 1, premiere 2 over, let's say, for a period of 1 month, 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
4 costumes.
Are you costuming me? Are you paying for my transportation to the venue? Anything? No. You expect me to come there? For what? You paid me to act. I finished acting. Now, if you draw a contract that, look, after acting, we are going to do a premiere. You are going to come on Joy FM for interview on this date. Blah blah blah. I sign.
Then you do.
Then you're doing business. You can't sit down and say you call somebody for premiere and well, do you think I have that time? Because the time that you call me, maybe I'm on set working for another producer. I'm working. So you want me to leave that work and come to your premiere? I mean, this is senseless.
But Uncle Kofi.
I'm glad
but some producers.
There's no sense in it.
Yeah, some producers actually incorporate all of these in the
contract. You know, I worked for this lady, Frimpong Manso, for the first time, Shelley.
Okay.
She wrote it all down.
Yeah. And it also affects how much you negotiate for your payment, because you know that you're going to have to put it all down.
And I'm telling you, I was always there because I had signed.
Correct.
I was. If I have any other appointment, I cancel them because I must be there. Yeah. And if you ask Shelley, she will tell you. For all the things I was there, I was interviews, launching, blah blah blah. I was there
because it was in the contract.
Yes. That's the way you do it. There are producers who bring contracts.
Yes, there are producers who do the right thing.
I do a lot of work. I've worked I've done so many films, or I've acted in so many films in Nigeria, and I think I'm one of the very few actors in this country who actually have done a lot of films in Nigeria. I mean, if you talk of Van Vika,
Jackie,
John,
Majid, Michelle,
John, Frank Atus, and then Yvonne. I know Yvonne, Kuri Yvonne Nelson. We are just few, and we have done a lot of films in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And anytime we go to the contract is there. The contract is there,
and the money is good.
The money is good.
Yes.
So we know the difference. So any producer in Ghana here who wants to, bamboozle me.
No way.
Because of what? Because he owes me? No, I took it, and now it got to my neck. I needed to pass out, and that's why I was not drunk. That's the way I've always been. Why should I drink before I come and complain that you owe me?
Because you owe me.
You owe me.
Yeah.
So why should I drink?
Uncle Kofi, I didn't finish my story, Uncle Kofi. I didn't finish my
aloe vera. Let's get back to aloe vera.
I didn't finish my story. So Uncle Ken, I was telling you about aloe vera, right? I don't know if you've seen it. Did it come to the censorship?
No, not that I know.
Well, I don't
come to the censorship board.
No,
but I thought you said you
there's no board as we speak.
Okay.
There's no board as we speak now.
Okay, but I was telling you about aloe vera, Uncle Ken. I don't know if you remember.
Yes,
but
I remember.
That was the first time I had the honor of working with you, Kofi Gianni, and I don't remember.
And Rosalind, Nanama McBrown.
I want to from the National Theatre. Edina
Tachi.
Exactly. So I was very happy on the set of aloe vera.
Yeah.
Yes, and I know it's coming out soon.
Yes. Ajete Pusha is also in there.
Pusha is in there. Rosalind in Giza. She was your daughter, right?
Yeah, she
played your daughter.
Yes.
Who else?
Nanama McBrown.
Flora
Safo.
Yes. It's star-studded.
Yes.
How was the aloe vera experience for you?
Oh, great. You see, right from the word go, when I read the script, when I got the script, I read the script, I just said, wow. This is one of the best scripts of lately that I've taken hold of.
Who produced it?
Peter
Sedufia.
Oh, okay, Peter. Okay.
Side chick down,
Yes.
Peter Sedufia.
Yes.
Did he write it?
Yes.
I know Peter.
He produced them.
He wrote, directed, produced. Yes,
Mm.
but of course he had co-producers, Lorraine, Mana.
Yes.
Lorraine, my niece.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah. Very hardworking girl.
Yes. The aloe vera experience for me was very different. I kept saying, "Oh my God, we can produce a film like this in Ghana." Yes.
Because the guy cleared about an acre
He rented a land.
Cleared the land, and then they built the structures.
He built a whole community.
It was great.
That's when he had problems with funding and
the weather.
And the rain came and gathered.
You know, and finally he lost his mother.
His mother died while we were filming. I give you a brief, very, very, very brief recap. So he bought a land. He rented a land. He cleared it and built an entire community of a divided wealth. So the reds, the yellows, and the blues. After he built it, and he sort of bust or brought his cast to the Volta region and paid for hotels and everything, the rains came down and destroyed everything.
I know, I heard that story.
So we were in the water. We all had to go and buy Wellington boots in order to be able to shoot. And when we had to walk and act like, okay, you're walking, you'll be in Wellington boots and walking in water and trying to walk normal even though you're slipping.
Yes.
It was a crazy experience. He lost a lot of money because he had to pay about 3 times the hotel. Because people were even leaving. I even left, came back to Accra because we were shooting Perfect Picture at the same time.
Okay.
And I had my baby with me. My baby was very little. It was about 4 months old. And I was traveling with him up and down.
Great.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
but the film is ready now.
It is ready.
And it looks really good.
I'm dying to watch.
Ken, you see... For the films that even we were talking about money is not money. I'm telling you, come on. If you watch that film, I'm not downgrading the film, but
you don't do it.
Okay, I won't talk.
You don't do it.
The Tazi game. I know.
It's okay. It's okay.
Now let's talk about aloe vera.
Yes. So the premiere is on the 5th of March.
You see, Sir Obia na Junimu.
Edo.
Onima Dioya. Omo to show sad stories.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Omo the truth. You see, to make a film is spiritual. Creativity is spiritual. My bro, creativity is spiritual. You know what I'm talking about.
Uncle Max.
I played music for so many years.
I know.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Fully a professional musician. I played music. Professional musician. Wake up in the morning, in the evening I go and sleep. Wake up in the morning, I sleep in the studio.
You sing or you play an
instrument? I was a multi-instrumentalist.
Wow.
I'll sleep, wake up, I'll sleep in the studio. I sleep studio.
Wow.
Victor Ivo's Jerome studio.
I see.
I grew up in Jerome studio from 21 years old to 27.
Victor Ivo's studio.
Yes.
I see.
I played one of the biggest bands in Nigeria and I was a huntsman.
Yeah.
So you see, me...
You're an artist through and through.
Fine. I became a DJ, radio presenter.
What was your DJ name?
The Ranking DJ.
Hey! The Ranking DJ.
At GBC.
Wow.
I was known to be the Ranking DJ.
I'll come back, you know. I see.
I mean, Kofi is a veteran.
This man, Ken, tell them now.
Okay. Years ago, myself and Jimmy Quist, I wanted to get a job.
I'm so excited.
To get a job in Media House. And so we actually walked from cantonments through Ghana Films to GBC. So we met Charlie Sam in front of the reception, the main gate. You know, GBC at the time, because of their history of coup d'etat, they're even scared to be around GBC. Yeah. So we went there and said, we're looking for, why are you here? So we're looking for a job. First question, are you done with GIJ? We say, if you disco, So Kofi happened to meet us in front of the building. And then Jimmy went close to go and say, hey, what do you want?
The Ranking.
You guys, I beg you. You are too young to come and mingle in this space.
You mess up your place.
You mess up. I didn't want to use the right name. So you mess up. No. This place, no. They'll kill your creativity. Look for a place that welcomes young, vibrant, energetic kind of stuff. And go. So, this man, we thought he had discouraged us. So, we are comparing baby tonight. And then a few months later, Kokstamaklu called me and said, one man called Chum had come to CHM to do some beats, some jingles, to set up one radio station called Joy.
CHM, Combined House of Music.
Combined House of Music.
Am I interested? I said, why not? You know, I went to GBC. So after some months, Kofi saw us. He came around. So I said, you see how I've helped you? You have wasted energy.
Because you see, after that time, I knew that the other stations were now coming up. Joy, Groove, and Gold. So I told him that, hey, there are some new radio stations. Go and try that place. This place is like you have come to your grandfather's house, your grandmother's house.
You have a very. Can I have a one-on-one with you?
Yeah, please.
One of these weeks.
Yeah, well, I'm all for you.
I would really like to do that.
I'm all for you.
Thank you so much.
Aloe vera,
yes,
Aloe vera is
on
the 6th of March. It's an independence treat.
Yes.
And it's the kind of treat that I would rather say, and I'll confess, most Ghanaians have not had that opportunity to enjoy a premiere. And a premiere that I have actually volunteered or accepted to even sit on radio to even talk about.
Yes.
And then furthermore, to attend is something that should let my listeners out there or my fans out there know that the film is superb. It's I don't want to go deep into it, but I would rather say
this is
the Ghanaian version of Romeo and
Juliet. Absolutely put. Thank you so much, Uncle Kofi Adjorlolo.
Thank you.
Punana. Thank you so much for coming to.
Thank you.
I accused your producer,
Philip Nye,
of putting together people that we needed for an entire program.
I know.
I called him. And I said,
I had the same sentiment that you want Kofi Adjorlolo to come here and for 20 minutes for what?
I called him.
And then he has Rex Omar and then Marco Kweku Mantey.
Frankly speaking, I'm always available.
Philip Nye.
I'm always available.
Philip Nye.
People think I'm so busy. No, you yourself, you know. He doesn't call me, but for all these things this issue about money, producers, and he never called me.
You see?
You read the thing on the social media and you'll be so satisfied.
He's a very dishonest
Don't worry, I'll
man.
get him.
Yes.
I'll get him. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kofi.
I'll go back. Yes. When I call you that, I get really excited and I miss Nana texting.
Yeah.
Because he calls you that. How are you?
I'm okay. I met your son too on my way here.
Oh yes, he's hanging out outside the studio. My son.
Yeah, your boy.
Yeah, he's outside. He's fine. He's about 10 months now. Oh, George Gray is my big brother. He's my uncle. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Nah, I think it would be better if I shift because I want to see your face.
Yes, I want to see your face too.
Yes.
I was watching you on Facebook Live. Was it on Thursday or Wednesday on Hits FM?
Hits.
Yes.
I'm sure if it's Hits, then it's on the Monday. Concerning.
Was it Monday?
Concerning.
Yes, the soccer or soccer.
I think it was a Monday.
It was Monday.
Yes.
Oh, it feels like a couple of days ago.
Monday.
Anyway, I was watching you
surrounded.
All
over the place.
I'm okay. This throughout the week, I have been hearing your voice
all over the place.
Yeah. From sound bites to live interviews and so on.
Yeah.
Anyway, the pictures you are using for the artworks, they be.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're very, very handsome.
That's true.
Very nice photos.
Very nice.
Anyway,
how
are you doing?
God's grace, we are fine.
Thank God. And how has feedback been about the? Is it soca or soccer?
And you don't see them say it is soca.
Soca. How's the feedback been?
So of course you get for, you get against.
Yeah,
and so it's part of politics. You won't get. That is why when we vote, you get 40-something% and 50-something%.
Anyway,
yeah.
So I would like us to start our conversation with highlights of the State of the Creative Arts address that you gave on Monday on Hits FM. I watched you the whole time. I watched your mini backing vocalist.
The ad-libbing.
And minority on one side and majority on the other side, cheering you on and not cheering on so much from other sides of the studio. So give us the abridged version for our listeners on Joy.
Okay. We gave some promises to Ghanaians with the manifesto on some of the things we plan doing for creative arts if we are given the nod. 2015 to 2016. We meant well until power came and we got to know that per what the president wants to do for the creative arts, until we get the bill passed, it will be very difficult to do. And so,
which bill?
The creative art bill. Yes. Okay, it's good you ask. Yes. Before somebody thinks it's electricity bill. Yes. So until we pass the creative art bill, which has a creative art fund, which is going to empower us to do all the things we want or wanted to do, we couldn't do much without the bill. And so that is why you hear Uncle Kanufuyata, anytime he speaks, he mentions the creative art bill, feasibility studies on a creative art bill. President speaks about creative art bill, creative art fund. People think it is becoming the jargon of the day. So we hide behind the creative art bill, and relatively nothing is happening. And I said, unfortunately, maybe it is President Akufo-Addo. That is why it is like that, because Musica had some 2 million CDs with no bill. We're all here. It happened in NDC's time. Unfortunately, you know the kind of president we have. It won't happen under him. If some of you remember, he says that if you want to make money, it's not under his government. You should go and join entrepreneurs. And so it gives you the worldview of such a person. So maybe because he's a lawyer too, in addition, until the right thing is done per the law or the laws of the land, he's not going to allow you just take money from Ministry of Finance and do the things you have promised just because you have promised. So we have done things in the periphery. I call the ones in the manifesto the core, and the peripheral ones are the ones that are not the main things we promised, but we've been able to do. Like the one you see around the interchange, around TV3. What's the name of the interchange? Akwaje. You know,
the drawings.
The drawings. But for
Murals.
Murals. So you see, that is not in the manifesto, but it is happening. It's a good thing because we are still exhibiting the arts, which I think you play in that space more. You are into books, writing, and then you do in quote murals too. I'm only asking. You don't. Okay. So we've done like vis-a-vis. Uncle Ken was part of the board that took the 2 bands to Spain to go perform. We've given opportunities to.
That was huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Uncle Ken was part. Yes.
No, Mark, when you are talking, talk proper.
Yes.
When you say Uncle Ken was part of the board that took the people to Spain, Manco Spain.
Okay, you're part of the management of the event.
Yes.
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 So Uncle Ken and Rasta, we cannot interject while the president is.
Oh no, he mentioned my name.
Yes, but if the president mentions your name in parliament, you cannot answer.
Abamira.
You can only note it down. So
knowing the space we live in.
Yes, so note it down.
If Mark says that Uncle Ken was part of the board,
they will think he went to pay.
And they give light off.
So you let us note our concerns down, and then we can ask him when he's done.
Yeah. So those are. I mean, to even get an office to operate was a big deal because there was nothing like the Creative Art Council. It was launched. The concept was made in the latter days of ex-President John Mahama's regime, 2 months to election, which some people even believe that it was a way of wooing getting the arts close towards election. But that is not what I believe in. And so we came, they said, oh, there's a Creative Arts Council. Where is the council? No documentation, nothing. So indirectly to us, it was a fresh thing. And there's something I must touch on. When we were transiting between MDC and MPP, I remember Honorable Katrina Feku was the chair at the time. She wasn't a minister for tourism, arts and culture at the time, but transition meetings. I remember after talking to the people in the ministries and the part of surgery and all of that, we got to know that I actually asked, but that I hear tourism. How come I don't hear creative arts? And one person was bold to tell me that, or tell us that, the honest truth is that they don't have anything on creative arts. It's a new kid on the block to them. They are now adjusting themselves to I'm careful with my words, to
embrace.
Embrace, because they had embraced it, but they don't know the know-how. It's the same workforce. They have not changed. No consultant had come in to teach them about how we operate. Nothing. They only know that yes, creative art is part of tourism now. That is why in the transition meetings they are not touching of creative art. Everything was tourism. So I knew there was a problem right from scratch. So an office alone was a problem. It took us over almost a year, to get an office. Thank God, things started. President said we should invest into masterclass, and I've said that some people. I remember the last time I said masterclass at Hits FM. Ola made it look like it was a lightweight something that I shouldn't even talk about. But some of us who go to school and pay school fees, when we hear masterclass, we go because they don't charge us. When your law school, you pay. You go to Wisconsin or Central University, you pay. Legon, you pay. But these master classes, you don't pay. You just go and pick up knowledge about the industry, and it makes you better creative people. So when you hear creative people looking down on master class, it hurts, and it gives me a feeling why we are where we are, because we don't value knowledge. And when we go to the room for the master class, I can assure you that now you can pinpoint the people that you've heard their names before. You can head count. The, in quotes, so-called stars don't come. And whenever you hear they say, Mantey, but you didn't come and tell me. That's what they often say. And that is why I am happy that Napo and his deputy have seen that we must get a creative art school. We are very creative. Kofi Adjorlolo, I don't want to say you are the influence of anything. We have creative people, but like Osofo Tabel said, we must discover, or we must polish what we do with the knowledge. So you have a lot of people who have the skill or God-given talent, but anytime it gets the other side of the books, how to put contract together, how to decipher communication, how to communicate, because we think it doesn't matter. That is why you hear people, some of them speak anyhow. They don't believe in brand. They don't know what brand, the meaning of even a brand. They think it's all about talent. So we have creative art school. I'm sure you know about that. The president went to cut the sword on one Sunday in Kumasi. We're all there to support. So very soon it should start. That is the foundation of the new phase of the arts. If you meet those who went to NAFTI, they think differently. Those who didn't go to NAFTI, they think differently. They can all have talents, but there's saturation points for some of the people because of lack of knowledge.
They've been discovered, according to Osofo Tabel.
They've been discovered. Good. Yes. The thing is covered. Correct. Oh, you know that one, eh?
Yeah, I heard him.
Oh, okay.
I heard him.
Yeah. So master class went on for some time. You know, we had this taxation issues where GRA thinks that the creative space is not contributing its quota to the economy. We some of us drive some of the top cars. We are quick to say that the road in front of my house is not good, but we think that we don't owe the country anything because the government has not invested into the arts yet. Unfortunately, yes, relatively, but we still use the roads. When I'm traveling, I still use kotoka. I still drink water. I still use electricity. I talk about doing so. So it means that some money is still being spent on me. Not just what directly happens to me in a creative space, but indirectly, government spends on me. And so we needed to sensitize some of our members about these things. And even why every year you must go for reconciliation. Sometimes the government will even owe you. But we think that every time we owe government. At a particular age, you don't have to pay tax again and all of that. We already know. So we did that. We did some in Accra. I think we did one in Accra. We did in Kumasi. We mediated between the Creative Arts Council and then GRA. Some of the people like Matankoma, John Dumelo. I hear Stoneboy also had one. They had some huge figures on letters to go and pay. So we liaised with GRA. One Mr. Labi, yes, and some other big men. And so we gave them time to put the money together and then pay an installment and all. I'm sure you know of the last forum that we had. Unfortunately, now when we do some of these things, people like now who host some of these shows, you don't see them. I've never seen 9 in of our programs. Nah? Yes. Which now again? Now Shoko. I've never seen Nashoko in any of our programs. But they ask questions. I wonder how they get the questions. So even if I tell her a lie, she wouldn't know to give me a follow-up question. Philip Nye has not been to any of our events before. He's a producer of this show. Have you been to our program before? Which one? Have you been to my address before?
No, he says that you should continue your...
I thought he said he's been to my address before.
No,
okay.
He can't.
Okay. But it's not right. It's not right because we ask questions. So if we are interested in the questions, we must be interested in the things we do. You know the theaters that we promised?
Yes.
Okay, that one you know, because you'll be asking questions in the other room. Honorable Katrina decided that instead of waiting for that budget to come through the Bell Creative Art Fund, we have some of the buildings at Kofi, Kumasi, cultural centers. Why don't we go and give them facelifts so that we can use them for similar purposes? So one was done in Kofodia, which I said earlier on that I wasn't part of it. That is why we had issues with acoustics, because I'm sure people will say, hey, you know sound, and you allowed the building to go. I wasn't part of the day-to-day of that one, but I'm part of the Kumasi one. And so I went to Kumasi with Mr. Kwache to make sure that the acoustics are right and it is made for the purpose for what we are building. And so Kwesi Ajiman, Kujoinchi, myself, Supit Safo, we all went to Kumasi to make sure that this job. So it is ongoing. We needed to change. We needed to even change the architect and all. It's very part of the show.
Yes.
I came before.
It wasn't communicated to me.
I came before you. So once you are here, I'm here.
No, it wasn't communicated.
Okay.
It wasn't communicated.
You are afraid of my rebuttal?
No, I'm not. Just I think it is only ethical.
Give your address?
It is only ethical that when producers call you, they tell you what you are coming to do.
Okay.
I'm a veteran broadcaster, and so I know these things.
And I'm a veteran musician, and
yes.
I know this.
So I just want to know, because I don't want an attitude of the concept of they bring you in and then they hide some people and then they have an agenda which they call here.
Mantey.
Yes.
I had an interview with Uncle Rex Omar earlier on the show.
Yes.
And so he offered us we are privileged to have him stay on for the rest of the show. We would have had Uncle Kofi Adjorlolo as well if he didn't have to leave. So because they are here and we are discussing the arts, we thought it prudent to have them stay on.
In fact, it was him who invited me to come and eat with him. So after I finished eating,
so it is not to hijack or to throw someone at you without letting you know. So can we continue?
No, I am not.
Highlights?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Shabwaji gave me a call that he wanted me on Peace FM, and he spelled everything out for me to see what he wanted to do with me.
Okay.
I went. He had a flyer with myself and Rex, and Akunu Dake, Uncle Akunu Dake. And we were all in the room. We had a fine chat. But this attitude of we invite you and make you feel, we do a flyer that you, and then you come, and then they bring people. Right, I don't have any issue with you. I'm only correcting things that we do that are not right.
Mark, I'm telling you that was
you
not
need to
plan.
Apologize to me. Don't massage it.
Okay.
Then we move on.
Okay. Sorry, Mark.
Good.
But that was not the plan. We had Rex here for a conversation earlier, just like Kofi Adjorlolo.
And
we're just happy to have them continue on because they are key players in the sector, and we are going to discuss the arts. So we just thought it prudent to have them.
Because I asked when I came in, you don't know. When I came in,
because
when I came, you are calling me time.
We can only have 3 guests at a time. No. Oh no.
So you think that it's not my prerogative to speak what I want to say?
No, it's okay. So like I said, that was not the plan of the show. It's okay. We are sorry about that. That was not the plan of the show. But we're just
Please
happy
tell
to have
Philip that
stay on.
I'm not here as a multimedia manager. I've come in the name of government. So because I work here, you wouldn't treat anyone who comes out from outside the way he wants to treat me.
I understand.
If you think that you don't have time, don't bring me in.
I understand. We are sorry about that.
No, go and come tell me him.
Okay. So we were at the facelift of the auditorium.
Yes. So we're in Kumasi. We added our input to the finishing of the hall, which is ongoing. We are not done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it just Koforiji and Kumasi that have been done so
far?
Okay.
So far.
Okay.
Yes. At the moment, we are collecting data on the industry. People get into problems and they call, say, a Omar. What shows that person is truly a creative person? Omar doesn't know everyone under Gamro. It's a big list. How would you know that truly this person is a creative person, but he does artifacts? But if we have one database, you could just go on it and say this person says with his information and say, oh, it's true. He this is what he does. He's in BA. He does this, that. Okay, so let's go and work on his behalf or something. He needs a document to back what he does and all of that. So at the moment it's ongoing. I don't know if you've even heard of it.
How are you? Okay, you finish.
Okay. So I've touched on Casa Africa already. The Checheku and Fra already. A film crew came down to shoot from Spain. We were the ones who worked with them. They worked with some Ghanaians as well, and so some revenues came in. And my interest in this side is that whatever or wherever they showed this movie, Ghana is in there. So it's a free way of branding Ghana or selling Ghana to the other side of the world. And that is why there's a particular tunnel in Berlin that before it got completed, there was a deal that when they are through, they shouldn't use it until Tom Cruise shoots, I think, Mission Impossible. With that, yes. And so when you watch the movie, you will see it's us. It's America. But if you are supposed to read the credits, you see it wasn't America, it is Berlin. So when your country appears in some of these movies, it helps. There is a particular film festival in China called Silk Road Film Festival. We invited, and so we had some chats with the people, the organizers, and some of the big filmmakers in China. They are ready to partner us, do movies. Anytime I mention this, the impression is that they are giving you money. No, it could be, but they are saying that they can give you the know-how, they can give you technology, they can even give you human resource as some of their top directors to direct a partner, a Ghanaian movie. And the side I like most is that if you have Pakistan, which is about 220 million, if population, If you have China, 1.3, 1.4 billion. If you have just two countries, and you have a movie from Ghana that breaks through that market, you are gone. You don't need America. You don't need Europe. And so that's the concept that we've been thinking America, Europe, because of the English we speak. But we could target Asia, partner some of the people there. And when we shoot movies together, because we already have partners in Asia and they are part of the making and the marketing, if the story gets down into the people, we are likely to get some huge amounts. The good news about that too is that their culture is similar to the Ghanaian culture. So maybe we laugh with the language, ni hao, whatever, but it's a place we should look at instead of the Americas and the Europe that we struggle to penetrate. Gamro, we said we would help them purchase the login system. I know Rex will not agree with me, but I've spoken to Abraham on that they should let us know. We should begin to negotiate and see how best we can get the ministry to support them purchase that technology. Because even in December, I don't know how much I got. Rex Minyai.
Nah, a friend say, "Okojo aketia, all those people were chilling me."
I don't know how much I got. So yes, next month there's a Ghana Film Festival in Madrid. We are looking at 20th of March, thereabout. I hope that coronavirus will not give us issues, but everything going well. We are going with Shelley. We've invited Ada because we show a Shelley movie, so I'm sure now we'll show in Madrid very soon. We are in most of the Shelley movies, and we invited other directors because of budget. We've asked them to purchase their own ticket, and some of them don't have the money to handle their hotel and their whatever. So, but the plan is that we are going, hall secured and all of that.
You didn't invite me.
Oh, you want to come with us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. It's fine. We'll go with you because Shelly is going.
You
I know that.
Invite me.
But we spoke about this, Kwame Rasta.
No, just say it on there so that
this is not. What's the word I can Mura.
Just tell me cool. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Yes. We've engaged Attorney General on the special court issue, the copyright court issue, and then Chief Justice, Madam Sifa Kofi, yes, and then her argument is that to put a court in just one region and ask everybody from the country to come to one particular court is not appropriate for her. She thinks that it is more feasible to distribute it across the country with special or particular courts, train the judges to be able to handle copyright issues across the country. I also thought it was wisdom. So we engaged some of the stakeholders, almost all the heads of the associations, and we voted, and Madam Sofia Kufu won. That it made sense that you could get justice in Wa instead of coming to Accra. You know our justice system. You could go back and forth for years. How would you always come from Wa to Kumasi? If the copyright court is even in Kumasi, come from Accra to Kumasi, Konongo to Accra every time. It doesn't sit well. So that's where we are. So we are still pushing to have every year all judges meet at one place, and and then they do the meeting you have just pray you know things. So they are going to ask some of us to come and educate the judges on copyright, because they are saying that you can be an experienced judge or lawyer but you don't know about copyright, you don't know about. So, and then she gave us a joke, I still remember she said that in a particular space, the Ghana law says that you can't sell a human being. Human beings are not for sale, but footballers sell human beings. so in every practice and how they do their stuff, and so they need education. So after that, then they can implement. So the bill has gone back and forth. Cabinet back to us. They make changes, amendments. They come to us again. We go. So the last time, it's even gone to Parliament. They brought it back. We've engaged parliamentarians and all of that. The final stage is that the Creative Arts Council is going to change to an agency instead of a council, because a council is more independent and it's more. We wanted to make it a quasi government, but the industry people complained that government was too heavy on the council documents. And so instead they would want to have their free space to operate. And so government said that, okay, let's allow them to do the industry to handle a council on their own, which lives on donor agencies and ways of generating their own funds. Then the government will have an agency which is controlled by government with the help of the industry, so that now government can have regional offices, district offices in the name of creative arts. I thought that was good. The document is still confidential. This is all I can say about it until I am allowed to talk about it, because it's gone back to Parliament. It's gone back to Cabinet. Yeah, I think these are the things that we've been able to do in the periphery. But the core, we are still waiting to pass this bill. Then, in case I remember any other thing, I'll add as we go.
Nicely delivered. I watched the full original version.
Which is the original version?
The actual soccer.
Oh, I say these things every time. It's not because it is a soccer.
But I mean, but that was the day designated for you to say all of them at a sitting. So, Rasta, Uncle Ken, I'm going to allow you to ask your questions, or if you have any comments to pass on this in a moment. I am very interested in the copyright courts. I think last week I was asking last week. Who did we have last week? Jeduble Amble about copyright courts, because I think he passed a comment on it. And Uncle Ken and I were asking about whether our regular courts, commercial courts, cannot handle copyright issues, because really, in one way or another, they are commercial issues. Why are we fighting for a specialized court for copyright?
Good point. Chief Justice asked the same question. That it's under commerce. So why would you want us to give you a special court? I've sued one artist before, called Nane Asare. Our contract wasn't over, and then he went to record for Kwame Miki. At the time, Kechi Kwame appear. My album was Yonyame Ewade. Less than a year, he had gone to record for Kwame Miki, and the album was successful as well. The Odomankma album. Guess what? In the courtroom, is it Justice Akpalu? I hear he's in the Volta region now. Is it Apalu? Apalu. Okay. He said that why should I sign a contract with someone for 5 years that he cannot perform for anybody apart from me? So he went to quote the economic something law that I cannot sign a contract with someone for 5 years. It's not allowed in the labor law or something.
You can do 2 years at a time, I believe.
Okay.
I stand to be corrected.
Okay. So you know. so at another point, Larry Ajeti's sister, or Larry Ajeti's sister, who is also a lawyer. Yes. Was also in the room. Yes. So she wasn't part of my team, but she volunteered to join. And then she said that she's joining because his brothers are in that space and he knows about. So you see, Justice Apalu is a great judge, But this particular area, he doesn't know much about it. Corporate issues are dicey. And so she came in to support my lawyer. Although my lawyer also knew what to say, but it was beautiful to have a third voice. He said, because in our business, it's not easy to break even in 3 years. So if you keep signing the 2 years, the business will be in bankrupt in a few years to come. So it is imperative you get more years, so that by the 3rd year that the brand becomes established, by 5th year you begin to break even. And then she even told the judge that even the 5 years is too short, because I'm still not guaranteed. So most of the international contracts for arts or music sale, most of the time are within 10 years, not 5.
Is this for both parties?
MPP, NDA.
I mean, can you decide to let go of the artist before the 5-year period if you are not making any profit or it's not benefiting you?
You put her in the contract. So in the West, they give you number of hits you must produce in the next 5 years. If you don't have it, they can cut it maybe in 3 years. If you are not able to give us one banger, you are out. They give you targets in the West as an artist, just like multimedia gives you now targets. Unfortunately, Ghana, we don't do that.
The lady you mentioned, Gabi's sister.
Yes.
Her name is Fitnat.
Yes.
Fitnat Ajete.
Yes.
She used to work with the Attorney General's department many years ago. I don't know if she still does. And she was part of the team that started work on the new bill, which resulted in the Classification and Development of Film Act last year. Many years ago, she used to work there.
Okay, so
you know, and she was also a member of the Classification Board.
Okay.
So I know her very well. Yes.
Okay.
Many years ago.
Okay. Anyway.
Yes.
So that
yes. It's a special case.
Okay.
That is why I said Chief Justice said that you don't sell human beings, but footballers sell. You must allow.
Because it's a specialized area.
Correct.
Okay. So I would have been thinking that perhaps we need more IP lawyers, intellectual property lawyers, or we need more people in the industry to studying the law and specializing in IP rights. That would make arguing our case maybe better before commercial courts, because if you have copyright courts only, I mean, there are so many other issues in the arts that come up, that even beyond copyright to even trademarking and so on, there are so many other issues that come up. Surely we cannot have courts for all of them.
Sure.
So perhaps if we had more lawyers training in intellectual property rights, then it will help cover all of these areas and it will make presenting our case better or easier before commercial courts. Right?
But now you see, when Madam Betty Modidrusu was copyright administrator many years ago, she actually saw a problem in dealing with such matters. So what did she do? She went to see the IGP, and she was given particular police officers who were trained in the law. So these police officers were attached to the copyright office, and everything copyright went through them, you know, for prosecution, if you know what I mean. Because you realize that a lot of the policemen don't know anything about copyright issues. If you went on a raid and you went to
they even buy pirated product themselves.
Yes.
You know, they
buy. I remember there was an issue with Leila Jansi.
Yes.
And so on with she had some police help.
Exactly. And so you see it's a specialized area, and it is going to be very difficult for every Tom, Dick and Harry across the country to know about such things.
Yeah, the struggle is that once you know, they are not tangible. It's not like a land that this is my land and that is it. Because it is creative work, people have still not come to appreciate that it's property that you cannot infringe on. So
you agree that's a specialized area?
I know. Yes. That I know and agree. It's a special area. It's a specialized area. But my thinking on how to address it is different. Anyway, Uncle Ken, soccer.
Yes, you see.
Soccer.
The way you went about it, I'm confused now.
Who, me or Uncle Mark?
You and him.
Because if you like me, I'm not confused.
Okay,
because you were right. You have been
right.
Yeah, I think I should allow you.
I'm not confused. So you know, I sympathize with my brother Mark a lot. I know that where he's been placed, if all things being equal, he could have worked. But first and foremost, whether it's a council or it's an agency, it has no legal status to start with. So it even makes his work an illegality because there's no law backing what he's doing or what that agency set up or council set up there to do. Already the bill is in parliament, it's not passed yet. So an organization that has no law backing it, it makes even the structure itself problematic. But
can you give money to such an organization?
That's what I'm saying. It's illegality.
No, I want you to.
You can only give money to that organization unless it's through a ministry.
Correct.
Okay. So now let's go ahead. Now Mark made a mention of Gumroad login system. You are not legit. You don't have the money. You don't have funding. The only way you can say you support Gumroad is you want to support Gumroad through the ministry. Okay. And as I told you the other time, there is no such thing like a login system sitting somewhere. That is login. It's a technology. It's like an offline something that people do, third-party companies do, and whatever. So that is one way or the other. We've sat with him. We've discussed these things. But even if they were able to support Gumroad in any way or form, we would have waited for them to be legit first with funding before they can do so. So that is one thing. Now you come to
Rex on that score, please. You know, in the MPP's manifesto, what they actually said about that was to collaborate with private sector interests.
Exactly.
To acquire the technology and equipment needed to log creative works in order to determine true and deserved royalties.
It was just in English.
Yeah.
They didn't understand what they were writing.
What was wrong with that?
How can you say that?
Let me finish.
You honestly, no.
Let me finish so that you understand. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Let him finish.
But I haven't finished with my question.
You read something.
Yes.
And
so I was going to follow it up.
Yes. And I'm telling you that what they wrote there.
I beg. You mentioned earlier there will be comedy. I want Rex to say what he said in G.
I said that. See, I wanted to. See, sometimes we are all learning. Initially, even previously, I thought there was some machine sitting somewhere.
Correct.
Logging. So when they said we are going to buy login system, it was later I find out that no, it's not like that. It is these things that we do like clouds, like these technological companies that they do things. So there are third-party companies. One is called BMAT. There are a couple of them, Heaven 11, and then there are software that they do. And they do for different organizations. Right now, Gumroad is even in communication with Heaven 11 to help us do the same thing. So if you say, when we come, we will fund you in source or outsource something to do this, then that is fine. But if you say we are going to buy technology and equipment to do those things, it was written. It gave an impression that when they come, they will support for the login system. But is it done? No. So
they haven't.
So let's move on.
Okay. Yes.
Now, copyright court. Initially, if you look at the current copyright law, it gives a provision for copyright tribunal that deals specifically with copyright issues. So if we wanted to make it a court, then maybe I will agree with the Chief Justice that copyright issues are also commercial issues. So it can fall within the commercial issues. But it is the work of the Copyright Office, which is a government agency, to train some of our judges, which they've been doing. Even recently, Gumroad assessed some funding from Cultural Forum to train some police commanders in Kumasi for them to understand copyright issues.
Which Cultural Forum?
The Cultural Forum, the one that is headed by Akunudaki and Kifia Salad.
They gave you money.
They gave us money. They gave Gumroad money, yes. Purposely to go and train police commanders, all commanders in Kumasi, and it was very, very successful. Recently, we even had a meeting with the IGP, so it was helping in a way, you know. So that's another one thing. Now,
are you going to the final thing?
Which final?
You have points on your
paper.
paper.
So I'll finish very soon.
You've said 3.
Yes,
so I'll
finish very soon.
Okay.
Now, Mark also spoke about.
He says you shouldn't finish. You go to your last one.
Okay. Mark also. I'll finish quick. Mark also spoke about just exporting, going to do something in Europe, Spain, whatever. And all I want to say about that is charity begins at home. Let Mark push his agency when it becomes legitimate, that all these soap operas that we are showing on our television, foreign soap operas, give the money to the Ghanaian filmmakers. Let them do the same films that reflect our identity.
Give the money from where?
From where? But where are you going to get money to support all the things? I'm talking about when you become legit, and then you are get funding. Get money to Ghanaian filmmakers to do the film, to put on our own screen, to show ourselves to our children before you think of exportation. Now let's go.
Did I mention exportation something to Madrid?
You said you were going to do something in Spain, in Madrid or whatever.
A film festival.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You don't. How many films do you have in Ghana that you show on your own TV that you are going to export some? Charity begins at home. Okay. Makamasem. What can I do? Makamasem. Okay. So now
that's your last one.
That's last one. And then I think it's almost done. And then the funding, Mark. Everything that we do in this creative space is about funding.
Sure.
And that's why I'm very happy that we have funding in the Creative Arts Bill.
Sure.
But I pray that all of us in the Creative Arts, whether it's NDC or NPP, all these things that we are waiting for it to happen to become a law, when it becomes a law, I beg you with all my energy, let us separate us from the Ministry of Tourism. We have Commission on Culture. We have all these agencies. Let's Creative Arts Bill come. Let's put all of them under Ministry of Creative Economy, and then let us move our move. That's all I say.
All right. I'm going to allow George Quay also to have a say, and then I'll come to Kwame Rasta if we have time.
Whenever I speak, one sentence, and then that ends.
Uncle Ken, please speak. Don't mind Uncle Ken.
To finish my...
Uncle Ken.
I don't know what I've done to you.
Take my time. Finish your submission. Uncle Ken, take my time. Finish your submission.
One sentence. When somebody raises an issue, now I will never come back.
Uncle Ken, take my time. Finish your submission.
And move on.
Please
take my time. Finish your submission.
No, it is not an unfair thing.
Uncle Ken, we are waiting for you.
Uncle Ken, please take my time. Finish your submission. No.
You know something I saw today on Facebook. Somebody was praising Okraku Mantey today on Facebook. That Okraku Mantey is somebody who he admires for one particular aspect of his life. He never gets angry. People throw missiles, but today, hey, Uncle Me, who the different part of
me, yes. Because it's becoming rampant, and if I do not check it,
now I beat you.
You know. See, he will tell you why.
It's okay.
He's begging.
It's okay. I'm also begging.
And this matter,
I'm also
you know, it will not end here.
I don't know this matter.
Okay.
Okay. So George, you were ceding the floor to
No, George, carry on.
Should I? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I want to end it.
Okay, all right. You know, for me, as I was saying earlier, I think our problems in the creative arts space go beyond government. It should begin with us. Unfortunately, a lot of times in this part of the world, we don't look at us first. We always look at who's doing this for us, who's going to do this for us. I voted for this person. This person said this. Forget the promises. Look, if you brighten the corner where you are, I'd like to commend Joy FM for one thing, the standards that have been maintained all over the years. Yep. It is not easy. There are people that crave sensationalism. Oh yeah, they want to publish and then say the most sensational and darndest things and craziest things and all that. But Joy has a certain standard. Those standards may not immediately bring you some listenership or some revenue, but it is standards that elevate. These standards elevate, inspire, and grow the nation to a certain level. And when you look at all the multimedia platforms, they sort of all hold that line. Radio shouldn't just be about the numbers and the revenue. We should also use it, and we can use radio and television to shape and transform society in so many different ways.
I've seen numbers and revenue dwindle as fast as
yes.
But longevity is key.
Yes, it is very, 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 very key. And that same quality should cut across the board in all the creative space. Yes, am I disappointed that we still haven't seen the Creative Arts Court? Yes, I am.
Would I have loved to hear some regular updates about it? I think so. That okay, we did promise this, we haven't gotten here. So if the government of the day, Mark and the team, can be given regular updates, you understand? The things that I feel is that I feel the leadership when it comes to government and the creative space, I am not looking at all the promises, because I think as for the promises, it takes us. It's not even going to take them. It takes us to get things to turn around, to work right for us. And I was saying earlier, in support of Uncle Rex's points that he made earlier, a lot of the things that have been torn down, we tore them down ourselves. If Mark and his team are going to succeed, it will take us. He rightly said it. We're even doing forum, and education is key. We're trying to educate and elevate the space, and people will not come. The people that need it the most, they will not come. Somebody will actually sit back. The person will not attend, though. They will say, oh, maybe Mark and Crawford, or they just want an opportunity to chop money. Attend. Ask questions. Contribute. But you would sit back, you would not, and you would criticize. Oh, let's tear it down, let's do this. At which point are we going to change the narrative to let's support? Government said they would do A, B, C, D, and E. What skills do you have? What can you also bring to the table? Some will say, football, the only family and friends or whatever. If it were family and friends, Rexoma wouldn't be leading Gambro. Because like it or yes, when you trace down, there's a political tie in there to Gambro.
Government regulates it.
Thank you very much. But everybody knows he is not NPP. You understand? But he is leading an institution that government regulates. And government respects his position there. That is how come he is there. That is how come government is not going to put impediments in his path to make him feel, and the musicians will come and tear him apart. That is why when he puts policy across, those policies should be supported. And for me now, I think the key thing is that it is us. The biggest problems we have in this industry is not government, it's not leadership.
Okay.
Us.
Uncle Ken, you have the floor.
Thank you. You know, I made the point that when you were
is giving me side eye.
When you were allowing Mark to go on and on, I said I was getting confused. And because my most important question to Mark was going to be, what was the purpose of establishing that three-member was it a council? Interim committee. Because as far as I'm concerned, when I checked, it was to establish
the council itself.
The MPP's manifesto stated that they wanted to establish a creative arts council to coordinate and harmonize the various interests and fragmented associations into a well-functioning body to protect the interests of members. Now, your committee or whatever was put together was to seek information from the various groupings towards input into a bill to establish this. And I'm which he did.
Yes.
You started off doing all that.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So I've always maintained that the most important thing was for you guys to push and push and push for that bill to be passed before anything else starts. You see, today, you know the problems you're getting. The same people who will accuse you of not doing A, B, C, D will come back and call you illegitimate. The same people who...
And again, give me 5. Give me 5. If you finish, let me tell you how the musicians started getting poor.
You can call him on his phone, like when he is done. I will have the.
I like that. Family. No, but this is serious.
Yes.
Because you see, George Quay has pictured the scene.
Yeah.
Simple.
In its simplicity. This is the problem we have in this country.
Yeah.
Someone is saying, Mark, and the same people will say you are illegitimate. So then, what are they looking for?
And sad thing is, put the same people in the position marks. And
I've always said
the
this.
same.
I said
in the position Uncle Rex is in. They don't do jack.
Uncle Ken.
Gamro has issues. Uncle Rex sitting here raising issues about some other entity. He has issues in his own entity. There are people, not only established musicians and things are fighting him, saying he's doing things wrongly and blah blah blah.
Because they don't know.
Because we don't take our time to find out things. Look,
come back to the knowledge I spoke about.
Yes, so and you know what? You know what? I doff my hat off to individual arts or creative people around this country who do not wait for somebody to spoon feed them. But you know, honestly, they do not. He himself sitting here, Rex Omar sitting here. He doesn't wait for anybody to spoon feed him when he wants to embark on a project. He moves. Whatever it takes for him to achieve that project, he will do it by himself. Yes, by all means, we need the structures, we need the laws to govern what we do. But if you are always going to be out there negatively bombarding people without you doing anything, where are we going to get to? Shirley them. Look, I was reading something. Now you must know. Shirley has by herself been able to strike a deal with some company. I was reading about it last year.
Netflix,
not Netflix alone. Some other company, you know. I mean, and she's doing wonders. People are moving in and looking at avenues where they can get money to move ahead. Recently, I heard the British Council is training about 60 young directors, and your friend, the lady who came to the studio, Amma is one of the coaches, you know, and they're going to be pumping money into such people, make them worthwhile, make them be able to, you know, seek for sponsorship and pitch for jobs because of the training and things that they do. Now, all these things are available to us all, but what is happening? A majority of the people are sitting down waiting for some government promises to mature. And I have said that as far as I'm concerned, government has no business, right? No business meddling in their affairs. All government needs to do is to put the laws together and the structures together for the people to do things themselves.
Thank you, Uncle Ken. Rasta.
I'm not talking.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much. Listening to these men, they've done everything, and they have fought. They have gone to war together. And today they occupy the positions they do strictly on the merits of their crusade and their talent and everything. And we are grateful that they are today at the different sides of the government coin, NDC, MPP. But Mark, in his submission, mentions that he is looking at the peripherals that the government has or his agency has touched on, and that comforts me, saves us a lot of conversations. Listen, the peripherals are what they are. The truth of the matter is, if we are looking at the dictates of the manifesto, there is little or nothing to write home about. Correct. But then again, the peripherals, and that is why I am excited for what his agency has stood for within the period.
He doesn't have an agency yet.
Not yet. Kangaroo agency has stood for within the period, and he's mentioned. Listen, the main flagship program of this government is, beyond entertainment arts, and is free SHS, right? Now,
free SHS.
Yeah. Now, if you look at,
it's not you of it. I beg you, free SHS, plans for food and jobs.
Yes, Uncle Mark.
Okay. So again, if you reduce the scale to the creative arts, apart from the bit about the laws which are absent to empower us to do what we are supposed to do, I think that what the focus should have been on is the education that the Creative Arts Council,
the masterclass.
For me, the reason creatives in this town, when you listen to Kofi Adjorlolo's Trials and Tribulations, which touches on all other facets of creative, industry, it is because people are illiterate about the basic necessities. People have not had the opportunity to orient themselves, to embrace the new school, how to sell their produce, how to migrate from the old school of doing art and its commerce. And so we are poor. People are just so illiterate that the end product is the poverty that comes with it. So again, if the agency in its quasi state is embarking on a master class and people are not subscribing to it, then what else is government or the agency supposed to do? We have a situation where, and I don't know who mentioned it during the transition period, I think it was you, Mark, that at that level, there was no specialist on standby or who was part of the team who was feeding both parties on, okay, we are from point X, we are going to point Z with regards to creative arts. And again, it comes back to what Uncle Rex had mentioned earlier, that inherently we do not understand creative arts and how to appreciate it in our socio-cultural or socio-economic situation, landscape, if you want. So it comes back to Uncle Fuwekrano, an afterthought. That's how they look at it. So here we are.
The scale of priority.
You know, we are in the bottom tier.
I'm not cutting you. As soon as Mark and no, I'm not cutting you.
He has already.
As soon as Mark and BB and then Jankuma was appointed on all that, ask him. I called Mark and I said, my friend, this is about us and the politicians, whether law or not law. Let's sit down quickly and strategize how. Because look, we are living in an industry where calling people for them to come and learn about their own acts. Somebody will come and say, "Wa mama is He's coming. He wants food. He wants you to give him transport. Otherwise, he will not come." These very same people will go and complain. So, are we saying that okay? So there's no law. So the creative it shouldn't work. No.
And for me, that's the more reason. If on the peripherals, the creative arts, the council can cite the role it played to whatever extent in the year of return activities. Listen, nothing beats that. How old are we? 63? 64? Nothing in terms of mileage, in terms of, tuning Ghana. When you read the various, threads on Twitter, the Nigerian colony that matter, and the way they are seething with envy, how Ghana nicked that. It is not child's play that the year of return and series of activities that make it are part of the peripherals. Again, I'm sticking to the peripherals because we come from a situation where we were in this town. Uncle Rex sitting here, his friend is President Mahama. His friend. Yes, that's his friend. Then Uncle Nat Brew came here. His uncle is Atamils. You understand? And maybe they call on them when there is a funeral or there's a wedding or something.
To come and
George Quay. Presidential height.
I was getting worried. You weren't
I'm sorry.
And Kwame, seriously speaking, I can assure you that all our leaders, they say the same thing about us.
Yes.
They'll say, but you guys, what is
you know
wrong
what?
with you?
Please, let me just wrap up. Now, what I was getting to was, you see, in as much as his friend was President Mahama, we were in this town when the president left to go and bring investor, whatever the reason was that he left, on at least 2 occasions, and he forgot Uncle Resk. He took Ikadonko to go and bring investor in creative arts or whatever. I'm not sure he went for the economic IMF or something. That's a stretch. Okay. I suspect they might have. The reason they issued the visa was under the creative arts. I mean, we deserve it. You see, so again, they do not take us serious, and we are on our own. Look at the quality of presentation that has happened here from, again, both sides of the coin. And I tell you that we do not need these people. I can't wait for the law to see the light of day, so that, like he's citing, Akoken is citing Shelley going out of her way to. We all do that. The 4 topmost musicians in Ghana, they go out of their way. Which ministry or which agency support these people? Nobody. No, look at the Sarkodie endorsement, for instance. Look at where Stonebwoy is right now. Shatawale Vibes Cartel. Everything is happening on their own initiative. Shatawale Beyonce. This is something no agency in Ghana can pay for. No. And if we can do this by ourselves, again, what we are saying, to re-echo how you ended your submission, Uncle Ken, we only need the laws to be there. Correct. And we will be fine. You see, we do not look a gift horse in the mouth. Yes, so whatever stipends are coming, we enjoy.
This fund matter that you're talking about. Can you imagine when this fund is created? The scramble for the fund and
so this is the time that I allotted everyone so thank you, Uncle Ken. I'm going to allow Mark to give us his final words on the soccer.
Thank you for having me. I think these things are important. It is good we let people know what we are doing and what we are not able to do and why we are not able to do. And at the same time, it puts us on our toes. When we get swayed, you bring us back so that we force or we push to get to the main vision. But I agree with them that yes, we do not have the laws, but man must eat.
Yes.
Man must survive. So we cannot say that because the law is not there, we are not working. And some of our people have shown. I met Ken Ato, where at Su buying medicines, one pharmacy. So I asked about the new movie, The Reloaded.
That's a picture 10 years later.
Good. And they said it is their best so far when it comes to commerce.
Can you imagine?
Meanwhile, some people say, oh, film industry is good. Yeah. But they are saying that
yesterday we still had over 250 people at Silverbird to see it, and it's been showing for 3 months.
Yeah. Wow. So you see that yes, the law is not here, and I keep asking this question that when the rains fall and it gets to the ground, if the ground is not good enough and it's not fertile, you still not get the produce. So if we as a people, just like the first said, if we do not prepare, change our minds, and get ready for the law and the fund that is coming, and we still go with this attitude of anything about knowledge, we are not interested. We're only interested in come for money from Gamro or ASOG. That's all you see all of us together, or someone is dead. That's when we gather. And like Kofi died, we're all there. Irrespective of whatever, when we bring to them, we'll still get back to zero. Shelley has an attitude towards work with Ken, and that is why when they said that even in the sea, it is because of the water, it's difficult to smoke. Shelley and Ken are still smoking under the sea. Because it is believed that in these times, no movie can sell.
Like, are they smoking head or what? Like, is it?
Oh, anything smokable.
Okay. Ken said something, and I agree with him. That's why.
These are your final words.
My final words. You know, this Exim Bank funding or whatever, I beg you. Any company of a sort in the creative, if you think you merit credit, do your own business plan, go and apply yourself.
Thank you.
Don't go and bring any money and say go and share. It will bring chaos. Yeah. If you are a business, chaos. Music, film, whatever, a business, do your proper business plan and your projections. Well, go there, let them give you the money, go do the business and go and pay back.
Thank you.
You don't want any money.
Now, in wrapping it up, I'd like to.
So, sorry, Mark, were you done before? I'm sorry,
I wasn't. I wasn't, but the Exim thing, if Rex has been following it, we never said that it was some bulk money coming to us to share. No. Exim
was an opening for people who...
We, as Creative Arts Council, all we're supposed to do is to help them enable
access.
That's all.
Okay. All right.
Period.
So you take your business
so
plan.
Much, President of the Creative Arts Council, Your Excellency. It's been great seeing you in your Inside Out t-shirt.
Whose Excellency?
The President of the Creative Arts Council.
We are not legit,
now, did you call that color pink?
Uncle Ken. Uncle Ken. Now I beg you. The thing that I said I was going to tell Uncle Ken, we all need to keep this. One day I might not be here.
Yeah.
Then some of you who will still be alive will remember this. Do you know how we started getting poor?
Bandolo.
Good.
What?
We used to use Bandero to sell our music. We changed to hologram.
Yeah. Yes.
Kalosechi and some people at the time said it was illegal. Just like we're doing now. Oh, it's not legit. It's not that. And so they said, okay, if it's not legit.
She doesn't know what you are talking about. Can you?
No, doesn't know what
she has
Bandolo.
no idea.
But regardless to what I said,
I wish I could say you were lying.
Now, before we go for our next interview, let me quickly wish Anne Hazel Kobna, Executive Assistant to Honorable Kojo Konkroma, a happy birthday.
Anne
She
Hazel
celebrates her birthday once every 4 years.
Happy leap year birthday.
Happy leap year birthday.
Your life must be hard.
I swear.
Happy birthday. So there is a big event happening. It's called Steel Pulse. You need to know about Steel Pulse and to talk to us.
Steel Pulse and Kojo Inchi.
Steel Pulse and Kojo Inchi.
Live and do you know Steel Pulse?
Do you know Steel Pulse?
Me?
Do you know Steel Pulse?
Very Steel Pulse.
What is Steel Pulse?
Oh, Steel Pulse is one of the finest reggae groups that ever walked the face of the earth.
Yep.
Yeah, the finest. You know their
song,
Chant a Psalm. Take your time. Rejoice, the silence I burn. No, not the version you are singing doesn't exist. The version you are singing does not exist. Where is Betty?
George Quay. I know in your mind you sing very well, but that's not the case when your voice actually comes out.
The devil is a lie.
And to talk to us about Steel Pulse and Kojo Inchi, we have the First Lady of the industry. Hey. Madam Teresa Ayade is here with us. Hello, Madam.
Hi, Na.
You're welcome to the show.
That was a heated discussion, huh?
I know.
I was wondering how I was going to slip in.
Well, I had to get rid of them.
But they've been gentlemen. They've excused us.
We can have this conversation. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
Tell us about this big show that's coming up.
Well, we sat back and we thought that what were the entertainment needs of Ghanaians? What did they really need? And we realized that a lot of the entertainment that was available in the market somehow had become skewed towards the younger generation. And so you realize that as you got older, there were very few options for entertainment. So we saw that, well, as a leading entertainment brand in the country, why don't we curate an event for adults, a mature VIP experience? And of course, I mean, we're 10-20 this year.
Yes.
And multimedia also turns 25 this year. So if two power brands come together to put an event like this together for our audiences, we thought that would be a really great experience. And then who better than to do that, than to we wanted to create an out of this world experience. So we decided to bring in Steel Pulse, whom we believe is an artist that we grew up with in a particular generation.
Okay.
Those who grew up in the 80s, from 70s to the 80s and early 90s, would definitely grew up on the music of Steel Pulse. And so that was our first choice. And of course, we looked on the Ghanaian music market and said, who could we pair adequately with Steel Pulse, that could match up to that level and give us that quality of music we're expecting. And we thought that would be the music maestro himself, Kojo Inchi.
Okay.
And incidentally, they've actually done a joint show in Ghana before. This was way back in about 2013.
Okay.
So we thought, okay, that would be a perfect match again.
Okay.
So let's put the two together and create a really great experience for the mature audience.
And it's happening at the best event location.
Yes, the Grand Arena.
Yes.
Which is a multi-purpose facility and is designed to allow you to create different setups for a unique experience. So what we intend to do is actually, people are saying to us, but you're doing a reggae concert, why are you not doing it outdoor, maybe at the beach front or something? We said, no, it's not that kind of event. It's actually a VIP, it's intended to be a VIP outing, a VIP experience. We're going to have we're going to create like a typical lounge setup For example, if you went to a plus 233 or a Gold Coast, that kind of setup and atmosphere.
Okay.
That's what we want to create in the Grand Arena. And then, of course, we create opportunity for other members of the public to be part of it. So we have theater seating with tickets ranging from 200 to 300 and VIP of 500 cedis. And then we also then have the table packages, which are the executive packages, and that goes for 5,000 and 7,000 cedis, and for 5-seater and 7-seater tables.
Okay. By the way, if you're wondering where the Grand Arena is, it's at the conference center.
Yes.
So it's on the conference center premises. You would see a very beautiful dome auditorium, multi-purpose facility on your right. So that's the Grand Arena. And it's happening when?
On the Saturday, next week Saturday, which is today's week.
Okay.
And it's a holiday weekend.
Yes,
6 Friday,
March,
6 March.
And then
Saturday,
okay.
7th and 8th. It's a long weekend.
Yes.
So this time round, the adults are taking over.
Aha. So how much are the tickets? Where can we find them?
Tickets are available at Nalem stores in all the malls.
Okay.
At X-Men in East Legon, Jamrock in East Legon, and Charterhouse.
Okay.
And they're also available online at www.ticketsprogh.com. So you can go online and get your tickets, or you can go to any of these outlets and get your tickets. You can also call 050. Sorry, let me just check the number.
Okay, I'll pull that up in a minute.
Yeah, in a
so
minute,
it's Still Pulse and Kojo Enchi
Yeah.
is for the grown and sexy, and it's happening at the Grand Arena at the Accra International Conference Center. You can call 050-1288-520
yeah.
for your table reservation and group discount. So you can call your girls and your boys.
Yes.
And then you get a
And
discount.
in fact, we've also just designed an old school reconnect package.
Okay.
So, we enjoyed this music when we were growing up in our teens, in the high schools, etc. So the fond memories are shared with a lot of our old school mates.
Okay.
So we're saying, call up your old school mates and come together, take a table or buy a group purchase, and enjoy group discounts.
So a group
basically.
is of 5.
Well, for the tables are for 5, and that's for 5,000 cedis.
Okay.
That comes with drinks and water and snacks.
Cognac, champagne, vodka,
and all of that.
whiskey, Irish cream.
So that's for the table. But if you want to also sit in the theater seated and with your mates and your old school mates, your friends, your family, that you can buy either the 200 standard, the 300 premium, or the 500 VIP seating.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and group discounts. Yeah.
Okay. So Still Pulse with Kojo Entry is happening. It's an independence special. Is the old school reconnect package, especially for old students. So we've got Akora, Mobile, Dadies, Santa Clausians, Bugis, Agis, Pesco, Slopa, Absu, Hop. What's your school?
Hobsons, Gebe,
CPSS.
Pajogba, Amosa, National, the Old Toms.
Old Toms.
You know who the Old Toms are?
Yeah.
What are the Old Toms? Aquinas.
St. Thomas
Aquinas.
Yes.
So basically we're calling everyone, far and wide.
And we're giving away 5 tickets on the show
yes,
today. Isn't that
yes.
Okay, so if you want a ticket, please, if you are under 20 years, 25, no.
No.
Don't text me. I beg you. I can tell from your DP if you are underage. So text me now, 0244340437. Say I want a ticket. That's all your text.
And maybe they should just mention one of the Still Pulse songs. Your favorite Still Pulse song.
If you Google
or Kojo Entry song.
Exactly.
So
send us a message now. I want a ticket, and then add a song by Still Pulse or Kojo Entry. And then I have a free ticket for you. I'm giving away 5 tickets today. I'm going to try not to take one for myself. So I'm giving away 5 tickets today. So text me now, and then you have a ticket. It's happening on the 7th of March.
Yes.
And it's the Independence Day weekend, so please come out with your old boys and old girls. Come and chill to good music from Kojo Enchi and Still Pulse. And if it's a Charterhouse experience, it will be one to remember.
Definitely. And with multimedia behind as well, you can imagine.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I'll just like to say that, but I'd like to thank everybody who has supported our business all these years, and also to thank Multimedia for being partners with us on this. And to say thank you to other partners that have made it possible for Labadi Beach Hotel, Ghana's premier indigenous 5-star hotel, and CIMG Hotel of the Year. Okay. Thank you so much for opening your doors to host Sue Halls and a gang.
Lovely.
And thank you to South Africa Wines for providing the refreshments for the band and for all of us. And to our various media partners and supporters, Innovate, Noble Friends, Lima Press, and the Grand Arena for hosting us as well.
Thank you so much for coming through. Always lovely to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Madame Teresa Ayode.
And I hope to see you at the show.
Yes, definitely. I have an old soul. I love good old music from the 80s. So I'll definitely be there. And I encourage you all to be there. Also, I see all your messages. I said 5. I have about 17 messages now. So the tickets are finished. So please, I appreciate you texting, but we are out of tickets. So I'm going to pick the first 5 and give the tickets.
I want the tickets now.
And give the tickets to them. Thank you so much for coming to.
Thank you for having me.
And
we'll hope to see you on Saturday.
Yes, we'll see you on the 7th of March at the Grand Arena.
Yes.
It's still Pulse with Kojo Inchi. It's a show you cannot miss.
And if you're a lover of good live band music, I mean, this will blow your mind away.
And a great experience. So for those of you who don't know Still Pulse, this is Still Pulse.